Greetings, mortals, and welcome to a very out of focus camera.
I think it's probably because my face is a little wet, maybe? But it's not picking me up immediately? That's wild. Wow. That's really funny. I look so bad after having just shaved on camera. I'm sure I look fine in person, but like the way that this like picks up with the ring light on my pasty ass skin that's like slightly damp but not like really wet because I got like a little bit of moisture that I got on my face when I was shaving. Like, so I've got like a little bit of dampness on my face. I got a little bit of dampness on my hair, and it just looks terrible on camera. That's wild. Part of it is because I think the camera isn't focusing correctly. I wonder if I maybe got some grease on it or something. I might have put my finger on it just now. That's probably. I guess that's it. It wasn't. It wasn't me. It wasn't the wet. Well, it might have been actually because it might have refocused as a result of that. But it probably just got some grease on it when I picked it up earlier. Wild. Wow. I am oily. I am oily. It's really good for massage. Like, there's like an optimal, like like oiliness, because everybody has oil on their skin. It's just a matter of how much. People with really dry skin don't have a lot of oil on their skin. Fun fact: people with dry skin don't have wet on their skin. It's not water; it's oil. So, if you have too much oil on your skin, then it might actually work really well. Like, it might be that you just can't go wrong. I mean, one of the first rules that they tell you when you're taking massage courses is there's no such thing as too much oil, which I don't know if I agree with that sentiment or not, because I don't actually enjoy receiving a massage, which made it very difficult on some level to understand what the fuck was going on in that course. Because like, for me, I'm just not like, I'm not getting the value out of it. But anyway, point being, I have fairly oily skin, but not like super, like, I would say I'm in like the 60th, 70th percentile of skin oiliness. And apparently I got some of that on my camera just now, which is it's weird to me because of the fact that I literally was just in the shower shaving, so I shouldn't have that much oil on my skin. Oh, you know what it might be? Oh, I probably got some of the because I only rinsed my hand out. Okay, so what probably is, I probably got the how they have like the thing, the little strip at the bottom of a razor. I probably got some of that gunk on my thumb and then didn't clean it off well enough. I probably didn't rinse out. Here, I'm actually going to go wash my hands again, because I probably got some of the gunk from the razor on there. That's probably what got on there. You know, I feel like I actually did just wash my hands with soap. It's actually possible that it was literally just a streak of water. It might have just been water, and I'm overanalyzing this dramatically. I know that there's a water all over my body. I just got out of the shower. Anyway, it's fine. All that being said, we have a camera that works. That's very exciting. Oh shit, I didn't do my punishment, so let's do some squats to start things off. We had stockpiled what? I think we'd stockpiled like, I don't know, 22 or something like that. Let's do that as our starting bid. Is just start doing some squats. I didn't do any push-ups yesterday. I'm a lazy bastard. I know. It is what it is. We're gonna lift up our thing. Wasn't really expecting to stand up a lot, and I need a belt for these pants, but it's fine. 1, 2. Great intro. Random sidelining into bizarre ancient history regarding massage classes. I took those classes in my 20s. I was basically looking to pick up like a skill set that was like immediately actionable, and that I already had like an aptitude for. Because people, throughout like my whole childhood, people would tell me that I like gave good back rubs, and it turns out that's like almost an unrelated skill to doing like actual massage. I wouldn't say unrelated, but there's an actual skill set that's involved that requires that you actually learn what the fuck you're doing. And I got pretty good at it. But then it turned out it wasn't a super great idea for a career path for a variety of reasons. So I didn't end up actually going into it. But it has been useful in my life because if you have people in your life who have back problems, being able to... There's so much like... There's so much adjacency with massage to like this weird like pseudoscience-y... Not pseudoscience, I'm sorry. Just full-on mysticism shit. There's so much adjacency there. And, having someone who's not going to try some like mystical bullshit with your back and, permanently injure you is convenient. Or for anything else, honestly. You obviously should not do any form of massage on someone who's actually got like an injury or something, unless you're actually like a clinically trained sports medicine clinician. Like that's obviously a specific field. But when it comes to like the sort of like everyday aches and pains and buildups of things like that, it's convenient to be able to be like, okay, well, where is this soreness originating from, and what kind of like, what kind of massage helps alleviate it? In part because of the fact that it is, it's just useful generally, but also because it really lets you like clarify exactly which muscle groups are in pain. Okay, at any rate, sorry, now I'm out of breath because I was just doing a bunch of squats. Not even that many squats. I don't know how many I did. We did some number of them. We're going to put on Live Split. I'm going to put on this other stuff, but I have been like quite busy, and that isn't necessarily the reason that I haven't gotten stuff done, but I actually legitimately haven't had that much time to tinker with my stream setup the last few days because I've just been really busy. I had like a 5-hour phone call that I needed to be on yesterday. And it was, it's time consuming to live a life where you're doing a bunch of shit, It's just, that's the breaks. So, let's see here. Yeah, I like being busy though, honestly. It's better than the alternative. Better than the alternative. Because I tend to fill up my time with stupid bullshit. So it's very convenient when I can fill up my time with something useful. So, we finished the temple here. The only other dungeon in that initial area is... Excuse me. Is that other place. Do we feel like we can clear the... bounty place? Wait, have we cleared all the centaurs? Have we even cleared this zone? I don't actually know if we cleared this zone or not. We have. We're at 100%. That's so convenient. I can just look. Wow, okay. So we're going to have to deal with... Oh, we could deal with the wolves. If we clear the wolf dungeon, we'll complete a quest. I think wolf dungeon. I think we want to do the wolf dungeon. Do we have inventory management we need to do? It doesn't look like we do. Did we actually leave ourselves with a nice, clean-ish inventory yesterday? What the hell is happening? That's such alien behavior. Okay, so I think I'm gonna try the wolf dungeon. I'm imagining that the wolf dungeon isn't gonna give me so much experience that it causes a problem. It does look like we don't have a lot of quests. Wait, I'm at 100%, but this is not dead. Okay, so we haven't cleared this whole place. We're at 100%, but presumably we have like 1 or 2 packs left, I guess. So let's dive this centaur. Do we want to just start things off with a death? Is that how I want to do this? Okay, we didn't pull the leech. Still didn't pull the leech. That is a lot of damage considering there's no tier 3s here. Wait, that's only a tier 1? Oh shit, I thought there was a tier 1 and a tier 2. Did I already kill the tier 2? No, right? There was also a tier 1. Spooky. What is this? Protection from Earth, which these aren't doing Earth damage. Oh, but it does give me endurance, right? Let's tag this. Yeah. Did we get everything except the leech? Holy shit, that might be real clutch. Okay, so let's pop over here, see how things go. Okay, so got the warrior here.
Who wants some?
Clear them out, save the game. Let's move on. Who's next? Leech. Nope. Yeah. No biggie. So most likely we're going to end up in a position that we don't want to be. Never mind, this is just over. Actually, you know what we should do?
Yes.
We shouldn't drag this to here because this is a terrible place. Instead, we're going to drag this over to the shrine. If we drag this to the shrine here, which is right here, this is a place that's much less exposed. I mean, it's actually more exposed in the classic sense. But it's less exposed in the sense of, like, once they're, like, when they're moving around, they're not going to be, like, able to get on a cliff or anything. Like, they don't have the ability to get into a very good defensive position. So I can, like, rotate around to get them into position a lot faster and easier than I would be able to otherwise, which is particularly important for a leech. Though as the leech goes like up in the air, it's also going to cycle. It's going to move away from me, but that's fine.
Got him.
So this is a pretty good building for this. We got a hat, which might be temporarily useful, but probably won't
Ah, nice.
be. Probably won't be. That was That's such a huge power increase, honestly. Giving a bunch of spell points to the person who has. You know what? I'm gonna do it. Doesn't matter that it has a bunch of spell points that I don't need. We're gonna do it. Okay, so next on our agenda is heading over to the Wolf Cave. We can do that, get that done, loot this up. This is the wrong character, loot that up. Okay, for some reason I didn't loot the campfire, but I did loot the boxes. Unusual behavior, but that's okay. So we're going to clear out the wolf den. My hope is that we can... My hope is that we can clear out the whole thing. If we have to clear out like a portion of it,
Now.
and then do some quest turn-ins or something to get us the last bit, that's fine. But I would really like to be able to do these small dungeons and have that be enough. What do we think is how much I need? Probably, I think I probably need to get it. I mean, I probably just need to increase it by almost exactly one, right? So 12.6 to 12.7. 13.6 to... No, I don't. This one is aligned with 7. So I need to get this probably up to 0.8 to 0.9 in order to get
I love
the last place to take up.
Come on, then.
Concerning. Oh, we dead. Oh, we dead. Ooh, that's a concern. Oops. So, pack leaders, those weren't bosses, those were just normal pack leaders. Oh, that's... I might not be able to do this dungeon right now. I might need more stuff to make this place work. Let's take a look again.
I love the taste.
We just aggroed 7,000 enemies. So let's see. These are level 37. So these are about equal to my level.
Come on,
The
then.
mid tier of these is equal to my level, roughly. So the high tiers are a little higher than me. If they're breaking through this quick, this is no top tiers, right? This dungeon, I don't think we can do. We're gonna have to do a different dungeon. The enemies are hitting me too hard here to be able to break into here, I think. So we're gonna need to meaningfully improve my durability before we can break into this dungeon. It's not a huge surprise, but it's not optimal. That's not optimal. This dungeon is almost certainly a no-go. I think there's like no shot that this dungeon works. But I'm going to see if I can remember the exact pathing and do it on the first try. If I can't do it on the first try, then it's my expectation of success here is low enough that if I don't do it on my first try, I'm just not even going to try
This
it.
one's all right.
Oh, right. Well, also, there's like a billion extra enemies in here. So, yeah. All right, that's not going to go. That's not going to work. So, for Might and Magic 8, we have these 3 dungeons, which are all a huge issue. We have the Sunken Library, which we won't be able to do. The reason we can't do the Sunken Library is actually not so much because I'm going to die, because I might be able to survive if I get good luck, because of the fact that you can basically like nullify most of the attacks. Like you can nullify most of the dungeon if you play your cards right. So, but you're gonna take a few like hits. So it's just like there's some RNG involved there. But the and I think I might need to do an exterior area next. I think I need to do an exterior area next. I think we need to get to Alvar. I think Alvar's the play. The Cyclopses are going to be a huge problem if we go northeast, which I guess we probably can't do that anyway. But Shadow Spire could potentially be useful, but I don't trust my ability to get the job done. Trying to think if there's a place I could run to. From a pathing perspective, I don't think I have a pathway here that could lead me to a safe spot at the start where I could do a mad dash. I don't recall there being any safe places here, but it doesn't matter. There's no safe spots that I can do. This place, if as soon as I can kind of get through the opening, that place will be fine and easy. So, the Sunken Library I'd prefer to do once I have a bit more EXP in the tank, because I suspect that at this level I'm going to get several levels out of it, and I don't want to get several levels in one dungeon. I want to be bolstering every level. So, with that being the case, I think Alvar's the play. We're gonna go to Alvar. We could head west to Garrett Gorge. Due west of here is Garrett Gorge. Garrett Gorge has Expert Arms Master. No. We're going to Garrett Gorge. We're not going to go. So, if we go north, there's a lot of easy enemies that we can deal with. Like the north, Alvar is easier. However, while Alvar is easier, at least in theory, Garrett Gorge I don't think is going to be that crazy. As long as because again, we don't have to do all the dungeons within a place anymore. It's just because we've entered it. So, with that being the case, I think I think Garrett Gorge is the play, because the Naga we can get assembled into a nice coherent group, and more important, so I feel like the Naga can be handled in such a way that we can get our levels. And the Dragon Slayers, I don't necessarily need to fight immediately. And we get access to some fairly important skills here that we otherwise wouldn't have access to, right? So I think, for a while. So we could get Arms Master expertise on... You can't get it right now. Okay. But we can just pump 4 points into this, and then we can get this up to Thinger. Your Arms Master's got a plus 10 bonus right now. Because of the fact... Yes. We're going to pump this up higher. We have a plus 12 item bonus. We're getting this to 13. And we will get that up to expertise. We don't need Arms Master on you at all. You don't get Arms Master. You do. So we're going to get Expert on everybody. Expert Arms Master is coming into play. So let's take a look at what this... Well, I guess I need to check before I put the points in. But... let's see. We've got 213 as our listed DPS. Pre-Garrett mode. So 202. So 202 is what we had before we did these investments. And we're now at 247. So that is a 20% boost to our listed DPS at the very least for this character. That's pretty solid. So as characters get more Arms Master gear, I'll probably put more points into the skill. And we also need to get our hands on proper weapons, because none of our characters have proper weapons. None of our characters have very good armor either. Your armor's fine, but like everybody else is sitting on stuff that's like, this is really good, except the personality does nothing. So like it's like a really good piece, even with the personality being a wasted slot, just because it's got so much value. But let's see, we're gonna take this quest. We won't do it until we can. Oh, we can get expert identify monster here. I forgot we could get this. Because it took so long the previous time. So we're just going to get this up to this. I don't remember where the Master Trainer is, but hopefully we'll be able to get them soon.
I can't identify.
Because it would be real nice to be able to identify enemies. Being able to see how much damage they're doing and stuff like that is a very solid thing. It's like one of the nice things is that like the identify monster skill is a skill that like you don't really need in vanilla, because like the stat blocks of the enemies aren't changing or anything. So like once you know what they look like once you know how powerful an enemy is, you know how powerful they are. You don't really need to do more. But wait, did I just pick up a quest to kill all the dragons or something? No. Alright, we're gonna reload this. No, we'll hold on to the quest and we'll just laugh at them for thinking that we were gonna do it. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Because we're not gonna do that quest. I would rather pick up the quest and not do it. Ooh, we can pick up Expert Axe on a character who definitely doesn't need it. Master Body. What do we need for this, actually? Oh, I can't check yet. Okay, because I can't actually get Mastery until I promote. Let's see. Promotion to Champion. Master Sword. The person who's using swords can't master it. Whoa. Spooky. I like that the new game just has like click this button twice to make it go. Let's see here. So we need 20 skill for mastery. That's a lot. 20 skill is a lot. So we need to get to 20 skill to be able to pick up mastery in a skill. One thing that's actually kind of funny is that this difficulty setting doesn't negatively impact me as much as it probably impacts most people in terms of like, oh no, you need so many skill points spent in, all these skills in order to get them up, because of the fact that like I tend to just put points in everything on this thing. Because it's like, it's fairly complicated to like actually calculate out the, like to calculate the specific values that I would want. And those values will change as the patches come out. So like what is the optimal ratio for these skills to be relative to each other? So like bodybuilding versus armor skill, right? Like what is the optimal ratio there? It's because it's like, if I'm looking at, if I'm looking at just maximizing this number right here, then there's one ratio, but that ratio is going to be weirdly like offset because I don't actually value every component of this as much as every other component, right? So like the HP boost that bodybuilding gives is very good, but it's not as good as mitigation, right? Like mitigation is better. So like if I have like 100 effective HP because I have 50 HP and 50% mitigation, I'd rather increase the mitigation than increase the actual HP value, assuming all values are equal, right? So if I could basically double my effective HP from 100 to 200, it's better for me to do that by getting my mitigation up to 75% instead of 50%, which halves damage incoming, which rather than doubling my HP. And the reason for that is that healing is a thing, and I want to increase my healing. However, that gets further complicated by the existence of regeneration spells and regeneration skills, which are based off of your maximum HP, which offsets some, but not all, of the healing differential, like the healing efficiency differential between mitigation and max HP. So max HP gets a little bit of a boost from that. So there's all these different values that are coming into play, and trying to ascribe sort of like the axiom values. I'm trying to think of what it is that I'm trying to weight those values. Sorry, the problem is that I have a lot of mathematical training, but I don't remember any of the terminology for anything from math to programming to anything. I always forget the terminology just because it's been so many years. So since I had to talk to anyone about it outside of streaming where I talk to people about it all the time, but that's beside the point. Figuring out how I want to weight those values there's choice paralysis there, because it's oh, okay, well, this is complex, and sometimes it's more valuable to just focus on effective HP. Sometimes it's more valuable to focus on just mitigation, and sometimes you want some in between value, right? And so, let's see, do I have 11? I do. Let's turn this down a bit. So, lowest wall. That is a lot of things. Okay, we're going to play I should have played the very first. Okay, so this gives me an extra card to choose from. We get the Minotaur. Let's see, my query is higher. We could use Sanctuary, and do we want to? Yeah, we have plenty of cards to increase our wall, so we don't have that huge differential between our wall and theirs if they switch. That being said, we don't have a ton of bricks, so we can't immediately play some of these walls, but they also don't have a wall that's at 0 yet. Do I use the Goblin Mob? Their wall's low enough that I'm going to use the Goblin Mob. I think it's worth it. There's a very sizable chance that it comes into play. I'm going to just use the battlements. I'm not going to use Focus Designs first, because I'm not that close to victory. I don't have enough gems to play a series of powerful cards anyway. So we should be in very good shape to get the win here. We just need a plus 7. No. Those Pegasus Lancers. I'm going to do this. The issue is that the requirement for this one is so low that it's fairly trivial for them to just get a couple of good cards and win, even from behind. And they're actually not that far behind anymore, because they've been getting the cards that are necessary for getting the win condition. And I've been getting absolutely nothing. They've had a wall that's near 0 for such a long time. I have an infinite number of recruits, and I just haven't had anything to put out the damage with. So, I'm getting the cards to do damage right as their wall goes back up. Okay, we need 7 again, so I don't think I want to reinforce my wall right now. I'm going to go ahead and do Copying Detect, because my brick values are fairly low. And they got the Dragon Eye that I needed. we're on road to win a resource victory. We're not really, because there's no shot that we actually get that far. They're going to get the cards necessary at some point to pop themselves up. We have a shift card. I don't know that they can get another shift card while we have this one. So I'm just gonna really hope that I can get what I need. It's so funny that I've been so close to victory for such a long time, and I think there's a very decent chance that they win this. They're now at a position where that was funny. They're now in a position where there's like 4 or 5 cards probably that can pretty much just win them the game instantly. So, and we're gonna struggle because we just to play again. Okay. We need +3 tower now. Stop getting play again cards. I need you to stop cycling through cards. Yep, there we go. That's so funny. We just could not get a tower card to save our lives. We just could not get any cards that increase our tower. Oh, that was rough. As they're just cycling through play again after play again after play again. I really wish that this had more of a deck building mechanic. The deck building mechanics, I think, changed the gameplay. What am I doing? I just wasted that card completely. Just like our and by deck building, I don't mean like Magic the Gathering where you build your deck in advance. By deck building, I mean over the course of the game, you're purchasing cards to add to your deck during the gameplay. So you're like creating what your strategy for the game is going to be based off of the cards that are, you know, available to put into your deck and how you like optimize your build. There's a game called, like, I think it's Miskatonic School for Girls or something. That's like it's like a 4-player like competitive card game where you're like going head to head and trying to be like, I think you're trying to have the highest sanity when the first player runs out of sanity. I think that the game ends when the first player gets to 0, and then it's just whoever has the highest sanity at that point, maybe. No, it is elimination. It is elimination. You could do it that way, but like the game is by default elimination. So like the first player gets eliminated, and then you have like anyway, it's a whole thing. It would probably work better for like, certainly for my groups, it would work better. It's so funny that they have 42 wall, and I have all of these cards that I can play here to do absolutely nothing to them. Like this entire deck of cards I have in front of me is not even going to put a dent in their wall. God, like the beasts are so bad. They're so bad. They cost so much to do so little. Like it's such a weak thing. You really need, like, in order to make like a beast setup like this work, really, you kind of just need to have like a shift card, right? The shift card is the only way to really like make to get through a big wall, and I think that that's unfortunate. Especially because, like, in earlier versions of the game, there was no shift card. So let's see. I can get rid of the Goblin Mob. The Goblin Mob is definitely not good for me. I can use the Gemstone Flaw if I want. The total damage that we have right now to wall is 33. We wouldn't want to use the Elven Archers or the Spizzer against a wall. So we could play the Warlord. I think I'm going to use the Gemstone Flaw first. We got the Goblin Mob again. That's very exciting. I don't think we're going to get a shift card. If we don't get a shift card, we have a lot of cards in our hand that don't serve much value. We actually don't have enough. I'm going to do the power burn. Not because it's a good idea, but just because it's something I can play. We're going to get rid of the Earthquake. We don't need it for this run. And we're going to try... I guess I can pump Apprentice. Do I use Foundations now? I'm going to use the Foundations now. Just because I don't have a way to hold off their Ascent. And you can kind of see what I mean about, like, how crazy the, like, the differential in power is between, like, the beasts and everything else. Where, like, they're not focusing their wall to the exclusion of all else. They're, like, accomplishing other objectives, and they're casually building a wall faster than I could potentially burn it down with anything. Like, there's no way that I could burn through this wall with what I've got in my hand, and I have a Warlord and a Dragon in my hand. We don't need parity, we can toss it. But yeah, most likely we're gonna lose this. The victory condition that we have right now is literally to get a switch and then to burn through the bulk of their tower before they can recover. And that's just not, there's not a chance that that's going to happen, I don't think. Because our entire hand is just beasts that don't do anything for us. So, like, they literally can't burn through the wall. Let's see. God, I feel bad. I feel bad for the...
Make yourself at home.
For the what? For the beasts? For the cards? Yes, I feel bad for the cards. Anyhow, so useless, huh? Okay, we got a Harmonic. We got... Got +1 magic. So our magic income is good. I think this is a run where I don't think we're gonna struggle too much, honestly. I could use an Earthquake if I want. I could use Moody Goblins, but I don't think I need to. And I'm glad that I decided not to. Do I use this or the diamond? Use the diamond. And we're gonna get the battlements closer together. I'm just gonna do little bits here and there. Get the play again. We get the Sapphire. We have lethal. Okay. Nailed it. So at some point we're going to be marking all of these Dragon Slayers. My hope is that I don't have to do it immediately. We'll find out if I have to. I guess I probably won't have to either way because I can always just turn in that quest. We can do the dual poison quest if we want. Do we want to do that first? I think we might do the dual poison quest first. So we basically give the antidote to the dragons and the poison to the Dragon Slayers to basically nullify the poison as a factor. And if we do that, then we should be in good shape. There's a lot of dragons. You get all the ads. All the ads. Okay, we got our first flower here. And do I want to do this? Or do I want to kill them? I think I want to do this first. Getting these quests done is, I think, the easiest way to make this work. So we just go up here, and my hope is that doing both of these will not quite give me enough experience to level up, and then I can finish it off with a few Naga. Alright, get back up. Gotta jump. Gotta jump. Gotta jump. Okay, keep going. Alright. Pop over here.
This'll be fun.
This'll be fun. So Master Dragon, Gryffindor. So I should be recruiting all these people just so that I have extra inventories to play with, but and I think we're doing on this. So holy shit. That was quite a lot of EXP. So I think what we do here right, so that requires getting the egg. I think that if we turn in the other one, that'll be too much experience. So we might just have to clear a bit, because I think that I got like basically a full level's worth of experience off of that. Because I think I was at like 12.6 something. So I think that we got basically a full level, which means that we're now just looking to get the last little bit. Which is actually great, because that means that for Might and Magic 8, we can turn in the quest and do a couple of quick fights twice. Right? So we have one more quest that we can turn in here and immediately convert that into fire. So that does mean that we don't really necessarily want
I don't know.
to do what I had intended to do. I'd intended to just pop over to this castle here. I don't know how strong these Naga are going to be, but I feel like they're probably going to be very dangerous, even just the weak ones.
I need
Yep, you're dead. How do we deal with you? We could use we could have them fight against the Dragon Slayers. But yeah, that was the base Naga. Oh shit. I just pulled a boss. Well. This is not necessarily over. If I can get... No! Don't do it! Why are there guards?
Go.
No!
Beats me.
They're gonna fight each other and kill each other. I'm gonna lose experience. Damn. Alright, we're gonna reload. We're gonna reload. It's fine. It's fine and dandy. So, hey, what? Hey, what? Spraying myself in the face with a little bit of acid. No problem. No problem. Is carbonic acid a thing, or is that a thing I made up in high school? So carbonic acid is the thing that soda is made out of. Okay. Nailed it. Okay, so I remembered calling it carbonic acid in school, and I know it's an acid, but I'm like, is it actually called carbonic acid, or is this just something I picked up incorrectly from my science teacher when they were talking about the process of creating soda? And I did pick it up correctly. Ooh, we have a friend there. So, the village here is a thing. What do we want to do about you? So it looks like there are quite a few of them over here. Yeah, we can maybe fight them like this. So how do we want to fight you? Take them down. Yep. I'm going to be doing more games at some point. I'll probably be playing another game while I'm overseas at the very least. But it kind of depends on how things are going. I've been really enjoying this. I've been enjoying being part of like the development process of this mod. So as long as they keep adding new stuff to this mod, I'm probably going to keep coming back to it. Would be my guess, because I've been really enjoying it. And I keep meaning to pick up other game projects. The issue is that I just don't. That I just don't. One of the things that I would like to do, actually, is so one thing that I have on the horizon at some point is I'm probably going to do like one of the Digimon games that people have recommended. I'm not sure if I'm going to pick up one of like the fan. I feel like I want to pick up some crazy fan game. Like I do love the idea of like jumping into a series with a game that that's like going to be just dense with stuff that I do not understand. I think that would be very, very funny. So like, because like a lot of people who are recommending me games are like trying to recommend me games that will be like a fun experience for a new player, which, you know, is a very reasonable thing for people to think is, oh yes, I'm going to recommend someone do a thing that they will enjoy. That's reasonable. The issue with that line of thinking is that I'm not just like playing a game. I'm playing a game with chat, right? It's not even necessarily for an audience in the same sense as it's like a social thing that there's a dynamic there that I think is fun to like really having like just having a wild experience that you don't fully understand. So like if you're trying to get a friend to like jump into a series, you want to get them into a piece of the series where it's like reasonable for them to be able to understand what's going on and have a good time. But like with the way that I work, I'm happy to jump into a thing and be completely over my head and not understand what the fuck is happening for a long period of time. And you know, I'm also doing it in a social fashion, which means that I was looking at the wrong number. I was looking at the completely wrong number. I might be able to just turn on this quest. I'm such a dope. The Mario and Luigi RPG series is probably a good idea, because that's like the whatchamacallit? The like sort of like the like proper sequels to Mario RPG, right? Like those were made by like a lot of the same team members, I think, and have a lot of similar like design principles in play. So is that? No, it's still too much though. That's 14.02 is too much. I do hate sanity. That is true. But so yeah, it is something that I've been thinking about doing. I don't. The issue with that is that I don't know if that's the kind of thing that I would stream. I honestly don't like streaming RPGs as much these days because, like, the narrative stuff I just don't find as compelling anymore. In general, and in addition to not finding the narratives as compelling usually, I find that there's a lot of time spent where, like, I don't want to, like... If I'm doing a game like this, I can skip all of the quest text. Everyone who's watching either knows what all the quest text says by heart, or doesn't care, or both. Right, like this is an extremely old game where the narrative is very unimportant, so it's very easy for me to just skip it. Whereas I tend to feel bad when I'm like playing like an RPG, like for a live stream, and I'm fully ignoring the plot on a live stream. Right, like ignoring the plot of an RPG on a live stream feels like, I don't know, like a sin, right? And to be honest, playing an RPG and ignoring the plot generally, when I'm playing it like for the first time, feels like a sin generally, right? But the thing is that a lot of the time, like, I don't find the narratives of most RPGs compelling anymore. Like, I just don't like... I mean, part of it is that everybody fired all their writers, but honestly, that's not remotely the most limiting factor, right? A lot of it is just that I just don't find most stuff as compelling anymore, right? Most narratives I just don't find compelling at the same level that I used to. So, like, there was a transition when I started writing where I went from reading in order to have like a degree of escapism where I'm like descending into this world that they're constructing and being like, wow, this is a cool world you're constructing, and like actually losing myself into their universe. And man, by the time I was like 16 or something, I'm making my own universes, and I'm not losing myself into your universe anymore. And once I started getting into the actual like craft of writing, even on like the very small level, because I only wrote like a few novellas as in my 20s, right? I didn't write a ton, but it was enough to transition me from reading a book and thinking that the book, being able to perceive the book as a like fully real space to itself, and me reading a book and perceiving it as a communication from the author with a point of view, right? So I'm like having a conversation with the author, and I'm listening to and thinking about their perspective on the world through their art, right? That's what I'm doing when I'm reading something. Whether that's like, you know, the plot of an RPG, whether that's the plot of whatever, right? It's also what happens when I'm watching like a movie or something, right? Game mechanics, less so. Game mechanics I can play with as math puzzles because it's a game, right? It's literally, it's a toy. And so because they're like a very different kind of art, they're very distinctly in the realm of you know, fun math puzzles to a large degree. Not necessarily math puzzles, but just puzzles. Like games I've never like gotten to the point where, you know, I like when I'm playing a game like this, I'm not really up my own ass every moment thinking about like, what does it mean that they did this versus this? I can think about the game on that level, right? I can think of it like, you know, okay, so mechanically, if you were to like increase the like trying to think of how to describe this. Like, if you were to increase like the hit stun by 20%, what would that have as an impact on the gameplay? If you were trying to steer the gameplay to be more math focused and less action focused, if you wanted to steer people toward turn-based mode or away from turn-based mode, what changes could you make that would do that? I can think about all those things. Those are things that I have the ability to think about. I don't have to, right? It's not required of me to do that. Whereas when I'm thinking about like a narrative or something like that, which to be fair, that's so like when I'm interacting with a narrative or a gameplay mechanic, I'm able to just be in it and be like, okay, well, with this, how it exists and how I perceive it to exist, what is optimal? And then I don't have to go into anything more complicated than that. With narratives, you know, there's a lot more like, okay, so the thing this character is saying is wrong and crazy. Is the character speaking or is the author speaking? Right? Like, there's a big difference between a character saying something crazy and an author saying something crazy. And one of the things, and this might be like my neurodivergency at play, this might be an autism thing, I don't know. But one of the things that I struggle with reading is I struggle to identify when the author wants me to just, when the author is hand-waving information and wants me to just trust them. It's like, okay, there's this random kid saying some crazy bullshit, and the author wants me to believe them, right? Like, that to me, like, from a narrative perspective, is very hard for me to read into and comprehend why I would trust this random child who says that they know the deep inner secrets of the universe when they say things that are crazy, right? Like, so I struggle with that kind of stuff because I kind of just refuse to. I refuse to do it on some level where it's like, you know, no, I'm not going to play nice with that. No, this is actually, mechanically, this is a bad game mechanic. It is a bad narrative mechanic for me to be required to listen to a random child and believe them, right? Like, I don't believe you. I don't believe that this is true about your world just because some random kid said it, right? So, Jesus Christ, level required 52? Okay, we have to get 12 levels before we can start equipping stuff that we find here. Holy shit! Did we just jump like... We might have just jumped a lot of experience, actually. This might not have been the optimal play, actually, to come here. It's probably fine. It's probably fine, but... Like, I feel like we just kind of jumped a tenth of a level from, like, killing a couple enemies. And admittedly, one of them's a boss, right? But, like, I feel like these are higher level than I thought they were. I thought that these were, like, mid-level enemies. Like, I thought they were in, like, their 30s or something by default. Which would put them now at around, like, 60. Which I guess is pretty high. That's pretty high for us. Maybe we should have gone and killed wasps. It's not a big deal. I don't know how wasteful that is, honestly. Like, I'm tempted to say that, like, you're better off getting the lower level enemies cleared first, because their relative level to you is going to get more crazy, but also, like, the relative level that you get out of the higher level enemies means that you'll get bolster like faster with fewer enemies cleared. So I don't know, man. It's math that I haven't done, and I'm not entirely sure how to do it. Like, I could probably get there. Like, if I wanted to optimize this, like, figure out, like, whether it's optimal, I guess I'd have to look at the exact mechanics, I'd have to look at the equation. It's actually easy. Well, okay, it's easy to cheat. It's not easy to know automatically. So it's easy to cheat in the sense that I can just plug in a low value and plug in a high value to the equation and get my result out, and then go, okay, which of these is more efficient as like a thing to do, which one is better to do first, right? You just inverse the two operations. It's like, okay, this one's the better choice, right? Which wouldn't necessarily give you robust results, honestly, but it would probably be close enough for government work. Maybe not in the country I live in now, but certainly the country I came from. But the anyway, the point being with the narrative stuff that, like, I just kind of, like, I try to be very positive, right, about things when I'm on stream. Like, it's very easy for me to get very negative, right? I'm kind of an asshole. And so I have to make a very active effort not to be an asshole. And so when I'm dealing with stuff that's narrative stuff, the issue is that there's a lot of it, and I'm not gonna think that it's very good. It's very unlikely that I'm gonna think it's good. Like, most games are not Undertale, right? Like, I'm not necessarily gonna think that the narrative is good. There's gonna be a lot of wasted words. There's gonna be a lot of, me being expected to take a random kid seriously when they say that they have deep inner secret knowledge about the nature of the world. There's going to be all of, like, the things that I just find very frustrating and annoying in narratives in most games that I would play. And so, like, I just would prefer generally to do something where I'm not going to have to deal with narratives, because it's easier for me to maintain positivity. Because when it comes to gameplay mechanics, I actually don't get that upset. Like, I set myself up to fail so much that for the most part, unless I feel like the control scheme was designed for an alien, it's really, really rare that I really dislike an actual, like, gameplay element. Like, it was so weird when I played Crosscode, and I was just very upset with the actual gameplay. Like, the gameplay to me felt like it was actively working against me specifically, right? And the reason for that is because the gameplay style that I was trying to do was not a gameplay style that was supported by the game. And And, you know, it had some Capcom boss bullshit, right? Which is usually fine. But but that's pretty rare. Whereas usually when I'm playing like an RPG or something, there's a lot of sighing. There's a lot of cringing as I get to like certain, you know, parts in the game. And there's a lot of just like, oh, okay, yeah. You know, maybe the developers kind of hate women or whatever, right? Like, you know, when I go back and play, like, Shadow Hearts Covenant, right? Like, replaying Shadow Hearts Covenant, I didn't actually finish it the last time I started playing it on stream because I was just like, wow, I kind of feel like the person who made this game hates one of the protagonists. Like, arguably the protagonist of the game, the, like, for people who made the game seem to hate her. And maybe kind of just hate women generally, but definitely hate her specifically, right? Like, it was this weird element where it's like, oh yeah, I remember this game being fun, but also I was a teenager, and now I'm like, ooh, I feel like maybe they don't like women actually at all, and this is kind of spooky. So, like, I ended up, like, just, like, not being able to finish the game. Like, I feel like the scene where one of the protagonists slaps the other protagonist was the last scene for me, where I was just like, I can't do this. I just can't do this. This is way too disturbing at this point, where it's like, it just feels like it's, like, escalated to a point where I'm like, oh, yeah. I didn't have the media literacy as a kid to realize that the people who made this maybe hate women. But, like, so anyway, so yeah, I struggle with doing most narrative games because of that, right? But the nice thing about something like the Mario series is that there basically isn't a plot realistically, I would assume. Like, there's kind of a plot, but it's like, I don't know that we're going to get anything that's particularly weird, because it's all, like, the plot's going to be so cartoony that I don't know that, like, we're going to get, you know, any weird incel vibes off of, like, the Mario and Luigi games, you know? It feels kind of unlikely that I'm going to have to deal with that, or just have to deal with, like, I don't know, like, one of the things that I find really annoying in a series is when, like, the protagonist will have, like, their, you know, I won't kill you because that would make me as bad as you moment, and then the person dies anyway because the narrative, because there's no answer for the narrative for how to solve the problem of this character's existence. This, like, powerful demigod or whatever. This person, right? This like, like, it's usually like a fascist or something, right? And there's no way for the narrative to resolve without that person dying. But then they refuse to let the protagonist do it. So the protagonist does their speech about how, like, they won't kill them because it would make them just as bad as them, which is not true. That's not how that works. And then, like, a rock falls on the head of the villain so that there doesn't have to be any consequences for the fact that the hero refuses to do the heroic thing that they need to do, which is to stop this person from hurting other people more, right? Like, you have to, like, and that element, that is so common in gaming. It's like a meme. God, I remember which one was it? It was one of the, I think, the Xenoblade Chronicles games, like, literally did that. Like, the villain, there was some villain who was a real bad dude, and he was doing some bad shit, and he's like, I'm gonna keep doing bad shit in the future. I'm evil, actually. Like, Yahoo. And the protagonist is like, you know, oh, well, you know, I'm not gonna, you know, kill you while I have the opportunity to, because if I did that, I'd just be as bad as you. And I'm the good guy, so that means that I do these performative speeches. And while he's giving the performative speech about it, literally a fucking beam falls on the head of the guy as he's trying to do something shady or something. I think maybe he was, like, trying to come, like, he was, like, running forward to kill the kid or something. But, like, it's usually something where, like, the villain will, in a last moment of spite, even though they're not in any danger, because the heroes will not do anything to them, in a moment of spite, they will basically accidentally kill themselves. And it's so fucking common. It's so common. I keep seeing it. Anyway, yes, so narratives are bad, actually, and we shouldn't do narratives anymore. That's not true. We should still do narratives, but maybe we shouldn't give... Maybe we should have, educated people a bit on how you deal with, Nazis over the course of the last 100 years. That might have helped when it came to having us create narratives that aren't incredibly cringe. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of and I don't think that's usually the correct choice. The one of the issues that narratives run into is that you have magic systems and shit like that make it so that it's not like reality. So it's you'll have these characters who you can't imprison them because they're like a god or something, right? They're this they're a wizard, they're a god, they're like a super soldier, they're whatever. And it's you can't imprison them, right? And so the only thing that can happen narratively is they get killed or they stop being evil, right? And it's obviously optimal for people to stop being evil, right? That's definitely optimal, and I would much prefer that people stop being evil. But narratives definitely oversell how common it is that someone can just, stop being evil.
I've never seen one before.
Oh well. Anyway, so that's why I avoid narrative stuff on livestream, is because I like to... I feel really weird to be hey buddy, are you gonna kill me? You're probably...
Beats me.
Ooh, that's concerning. Okay, we got you. Right. That is the reason. See, I really like RPGs from a mechanical perspective, and I like the... Excuse me. I like them... I do think that... Weirdly, I think that the average game narrative is actually way better than the average, movie narrative. I think that movie narratives are, bottom tier storytelling. Actually, unironically. During the writer's strike, I remember, having to hear people go, ooh, this is, the best, the highest quality writing in, in media. And it's really not. It's actually really bad. Hollywood-level writing is real bad. And the reason for that is not because the writers are bad, right? It's because of a lot of reasons that have to do with the fact that predominantly writers aren't in control of how the writing is going to go on a show. The writers are responsible for dialogue and really not very much else. The writers are responsible for figuring out how they're going to implement the giant spider crab robot that some random guy with $1 billion wants to put into the movie, and won't allow the movie to exist unless you add this random spider monster. Wild Wild West, they had a whole conversation in one of the interviews about it, where they were talking about how this one producer had been trying to get this fucking crab monster shooed into literally every single movie that he's produced in the last 15 years, and this time he managed to shoehorn it in because the other producers didn't stop him or whatever. But it's interesting, right? There isn't a lot of respect for writing as a craft, and so you end up with poor quality writing as a direct result. There's a really great it's almost like an aphorism at this point, right? But there's there's a thing about the arts that I think is really interesting, where if you look at like the average Joe doesn't think they can make a good painting. Right? The average Joe does not think they can make a good painting. The average Joe fully believes that they could write a good novel. They fully believe that, right? And it's just not true, right? It's not remotely accurate. There's a lot of work that goes into it. There's so much work that goes into it, in fact, that I mean, part of this is the ADHD, but there's so much work that goes into it, in fact, that the only way that I actually managed to publish was by doing novellas, by doing really, really short novellas, and converting multiple of those novellas into a short book, right? Like, so I have like I don't even know how long the book is. I'd have to pull it out, but like, you know, I have a book that's like, I don't know, however many pages it is. It's a pretty short novel. And that's 3 novellas that I published independently of each other, because of the fact that it was like, I'm not going to be able to finish something this intense. You know, it just takes, it's so time consuming, it's so painful to sit down in front of a page. But like, basically, everyone assumes that if they just sat down and did it, then they could make something good. And it's like, no, that's not true. Like, I wouldn't even say that I did, and I have a lot of innate, I have a lot of talent for writing. But like, I haven't really developed the skill set for narrative structure and stuff like that, because it requires that you actually finish things to do that. Requires that you actually finish them. So, God. How about that for a sub-goal? Is force Arctole to read his own fucking books on stream and just watch him cringe out of his seat. The amount of money that I would need to be paid to be willing to do that is actually not that high. I wouldn't need to be paid that much money in order to be willing to do that. I will say, though, that as the money value involved goes down, I would be more and more willing to piece out in the middle, because it seems like a great idea at the start. And then as I'm reading it, I'm like, I don't know if I can handle reading my own stuff. But it's all good. Oh, so anyway, so most people think that they can write, and nobody thinks that they can paint. And so what you end up with is that in like organizational structures, you end up with like basically writing staff not being like the people that are writing the bulk of what needs to be written. Right, the people writing like the narrative and the this and the that and the other thing, all the like the story beats, all the stuff is not written by writers, right? That stuff is all ends up getting written by like either producers, directors, sometimes the actors on set. Like, it depends on like what kind of a thing you're dealing with. Obviously, the actors on set are doing less of that in there. Which, by the way, the actors on set, like improvising dialogue and stuff like that, is actually excellent. You should probably have someone who was involved in writing the scene involved in that process in some way, because maybe that scene is important, actually. That there's certain elements that, like, the particulars of the way that the actor did a thing might undermine the ability to do something else later, right? It might undermine later world building, basically. But like, anyway, it's and with like gaming and stuff like that, you like everything's done by some random programmer. It's not really done by. It doesn't seem like too much is done by people who are that interested in the craft. But you know what they are experts in? Is game mechanics. Not always. A lot of time not. But to a large degree, they make real good game mechanics because the people they hire to do game mechanics are the people who do game mechanics. That's their job. They're good at working with systems that make things go, that makes numbers go +1, makes numbers go minus. And I do think that some of that is like less true these days, but we have the indie scene, and in the indie scene, you really do see a very strong, you see very strong gameplay stuff a lot of the time. In part just because in order to be vaguely successful as an indie developer, you absolutely have to, you for the most part have to do something really interesting and impressive with your gameplay. That's kind of a requirement. But I have a suspicion that we're just going to die here because we're not going to be able to effectively pin this many enemies at once. This bridge is not actually great for this. Have I been adding all the reloads that I've done? Am I really only at 9? Are you still in here? Okay, it looks like we're actually fine. At least for now. We actually got all these. So, there were some issues with the way that I was doing it just now that I think I maybe made an improvement on here. That being said, that one wiggling there might cause problems. We'll find out. Looks like it's not wiggling anymore. But because there was one that was wiggling, that means that there's the potential for more to start wiggling when this one dies or just gets moved enough. So we'll see. I didn't notice there was another enemy there, and it's a queen, so if I had moved, it would have gone very badly for me. It's all good. It's all good. No problem. Alright. We are all set. This might actually get us enough experience to leave. Just this pack. I am going to clear the whole pack. I'm not going to check before that. And okay. So, my guess is that we only need like 1 or 2 more of these Naga to be able to do this.
Sure. This might be good.
It's a level 43 required. That is plus 2% over main hand, which means that this as an offhand is going to be very good.
This item's weak.
We have a sword. We could add a bunch of body damage to it. Probably don't need to. Yeah, one thing that I think is like an issue with narrative is allegory is really difficult to do, and it's always going to go a little wrong. So like even with stuff like the okay, well, we can't have the protagonist like do anything to stop this person, right? In the real world, taking away someone's power is actually really easy. You just make it so that they can't tell other people what to do anymore, and you basically remove their power, right? That's when you're talking about like civilizational villains, right? When you're talking about civilizational villains, it's really not that hard to remove their power base. Whereas like with a wizard, you can't do it easily, right? So an example of like really well done narrative with this is actually Avatar: The Last Airbender. Shocking, Avatar: The Last Airbender did a really good job because you have a character, you have a protagonist who has a moral obligation to stop a fascist who is going to destroy the world if he is not stopped, and who refuses to stop. He will not stop. You cannot convince him to stop doing what he's doing. And I guess spoilers for like a show that's really old, that's absolutely amazing, that everyone should fucking watch. Like seriously, if people haven't watched it, like I don't know, mute me for 20 seconds. I don't fucking know. Or don't. Who cares? Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if this gets spoiled. Just watch the show. It's pretty fucking good actually. There's problems where they like took a 4-season show and condensed it down into 3 seasons, and that's really obvious in the last season because you end up with like a lot of filler in the season in a season that doesn't have enough time, right? Like it's a season that simultaneously doesn't have enough time to get to what it's trying to get to, but also has stuff in it that doesn't need, like it has entire episodes that don't need to exist. And it's very clearly like, oh, well, they condensed 2 seasons into 1 season, and this is the stuff that they cobbled together everything with, right? So from my perspective, like it's certainly not a perfect show, right? That's an obvious issue, right? But like I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be a 4-season show that became a 3-season show. They still stick the landing to a large degree, but like anyway, so you have a protagonist who's a pacifist, right? He is a pacifist. He will not he doesn't want to hurt people, and he has a moral aversion to doing so. And I think that pacifists are often very cringe. And the reason is that a lot of times they are not willing to do what's necessary to actually make better things happen in the world as a result of that, right? Like sometimes somebody needs to be disempowered, and when you need to disempower them, you sometimes have to do it by force, and that means people are going to get hurt potentially, right? And anyway, so the narrative does a really great job with it, and allows for the magical narrative that it feels like, okay, well, this person is like a powerful magic user. You can't treat them like you would like a normal dictator, because a normal dictator, as soon as you take away their ability to dictate, they're just a dude, right? But with a magic person who's like the most powerful magic dude of, and whatever, you can't just do that. It's not that simple. And they do this really great thing where they're like, yeah, actually it is that simple. You take away their power and they can't hurt people anymore. And so it doesn't matter that he didn't redeem himself. It doesn't matter that he didn't agree. We took away his ability to hurt people. Right? Certainly at scale. His ability to harm people at scale is removed. And that, to me, is an excellent usage of not allowing your magic system to undermine your message, right? Like the magic system doesn't undermine the message in the end. It doesn't undermine the ideals of the protagonist who, I've been complaining about protagonists who refuse to kill people this entire time, right? Well, he doesn't have to. He finds a way after, being yelled at that he has to do it this one way by everyone he respects, he finds a way to make the pacifism work, and it works. And it's not like just, it's not something like, the bad guy just decided to stop being bad, and that worked. It turns out all we need to do is reach out a hand to the fascists and, shake their hand, and if we're nice to them, they'll be nice to us. No, that's not true. You need them to not have power anymore. It's important to disempower them. And they did such a great job with it, and I really appreciate that. It's such a good it's such a good a version of the trope of okay, well, we have this kind of useless protagonist who refuses to get the job done. It's like, no, he got the job done. This is a +1 point in favor of pacifism. It is actually a really great message, especially for a kids show. Kids shows usually have to they have to do the thing where they just have the protagonist and the antagonist, the protagonist just convince the antagonist to stop being evil. That kind of has to be how most kid shows go, because you can't just have them kill the bad guy, right? Because and usually they still have some weird magic powers that make it so that, well, you can't just say, bad guy stop being bad, and then he goes, okay, right? There's a dynamic to it where it's kind of like how in superhero comics you have this revolving door with the prisons, because you're putting these magical gods into the criminal justice system, and then they're just mind controlling the guards, or dragging the iron out of their blood to murk their way through the whole complex or whatever, or just whatever, right? Whatever shenanigans that are required. And it's man, at some point, this person's a mass murderer. You can just prosecute them for murder and give them the death penalty. I know you don't want to, because then you don't have the character to play with anymore, but you really should. These characters are not coming off as particularly heroic. When they, lock their friend in a basement because he went on a killing spree, and then, shake their finger at him, and then 2 months later he's out of prison and mass murdering again, and it's oh, we gotta catch him again and put him back in the cell. It's maybe don't put him back in the cell that he broke out of already 3, 6, 9, 12 times. Though, to be fair, it is comic books, so if you kill them, they're gonna come back to life anyway, so I guess there's not really there's not much that much utility, but yeah, Avatar: The Last Airbender was really great. I didn't enjoy Korra. Korra really, I feel it runs into the issue that you really commonly run into of making the villain just kind of objectively correct, and then kind of making the narrative be behind every seemingly correct, obviously and objectively correct social movement, there's a sociopath who just doesn't give a shit and is manufacturing the entire thing. But it's the social movement is still correct, though, right? Just because the one person was a sociopath doesn't mean that radical action doesn't need to be taken in this context. They kind of hand wave away the entire movement on the basis of the face of the movement being, you know, a real bad dude. Yeah, you know, now that Biden has lost the election, I should really stop doing the bad dude quote. You know, it's just depressing, but it's so bad. The thing is, I don't know that anyone else remembers the whole corn pop thing. It's just like, oh my god, Biden. Anyway, the what was that? Oh yeah, so Korra did not impress me in what I had seen of the beginning of the series, because it felt just kind of like, eh. Though, to be fair, I also didn't really... Like, it took me a while to get into the first series, too. Like, Avatar The Last Airbender, I'm not a kid, and I don't watch kids' shows, right? So, like, it is a kids' show. It's structured and behaves like a kids' show. It's not like it's not like a genre that I watch. So, like, I did struggle to get into it for a while, so I might have been able to get into Korra if I'd given it more time, but I don't think that I really could, because just like the messaging of the show just really felt kind of like very backward in a lot of ways. It's the same problem that you run into with things like RWBY, which RWBY had more problems than just this, but like one of the major writing problems, and this is I think a problem that you run into when you don't, you know, respect the writing process enough to a degree. But if you don't have enough respect for the writing process, I think you can run into a situation where you don't necessarily realize what it is that you're implying with what you're saying. Though there's a decent chance that they did know what they were saying. But hard to say.
Nice shot.
Oh, geez, there's like 3 of these, and they just took down and poisoned the person who cures poison. So we're going to be in very serious danger for a very long time. Basically, if a spiritist gets hit with a poison attack, before we can get our healer back up, then we are in trouble. I did save, right? I think I saved at some point. It's probably fine. So, we're going to clear this. Once we've cleared this, we can... What are you anyway?
Uh-oh.
Well, 36. So yeah, the spiders are way lower level, because those are actually lower level than me with the highest ones, versus the other things that were about my level with the mid tier. So we also need to go level up, which we haven't done yet. Wow, so much regen. If we can get into the green, we really regen fast. Okay, we still haven't actually seen the Spider Queen.
Got that one's next.
It's also funny seeing like this Spider Queen, because it's like that's not really how spiders work. Spiders are usually not very communal, though there are some types of spiders that are communal.
Who wants some?
So it's easy to complain about how often spiders are like these communal creatures instead of social, or sorry, instead of solitary. And it is overused. Like you do have too many spiders in the places that you run into spiders, I think, as opposed to having like the default be to have like solitary spiders showing up, which I think actually would be cool. Like, I think it would be really interesting to see more of, both like from a gameplay and a narrative perspective, spiders that behave like spiders, because spiders are really, really scary. Like a single spider is actually like a terrifying monster.
Let's leave it behind.
Like, to think of like, you know, like, okay, you know, you have a bunch of woods and they're full of spiders or whatever, right? Like, that's, you know, kind of meh. But like thinking about like a spider that has the ability to like basically do what like a funnel web spider does, where it's like kind of like corralling you toward the center, toward its lair. That's a really spooky and disturbing like idea for a monster. And it's not that hard to do, right? You throw like a couple of like this is the DM in me coming out, but like you just throw like a couple of illusion, like basic illusion capacities to the spider, and you've got a really terrifying like final boss, right? It doesn't even have to be sapient to be a really, really deadly and scary threat. Yeah, I'll have to throw a spider at my players at some point. That could be fun. I'd have to do some research into spiders first, though. I'd need to know more about the specific things, like the specific stuff that I'd want to touch on, because the players probably like I wouldn't want the players necessarily to know they're dealing with a spider at first. So nobody tell my players that I'm planning on killing them with a spider at some point. Oh right, I never brought your daughter back. Whoops. Whoopsie. Okay, that's fine. All right, we're now eligible for 42. Save and let's see here. How are we doing here?
Ah, it's useless.
How are we doing? At some point, we're going to need to do some more of the crafting stuff. But where do we want to go? I guess we have to go back to Bootleg Bay.
Need a ride? Hitch up the horses.
But I do think one thing that I do think is kind of underdiscussed. I don't think I've ever seen anyone else say that they think that Avatar: The Last Airbender was clearly meant to be 4 seasons and got really scraped down to be put into 3. Because we have a lot of plot lines that just get fully like glossed over, with like some of the primary villains in particular, that would have been nice to see better developed. I just ran into a very bad place. We're gonna probably die. We're in trouble. We're dead. That was pretty predictable. Oh, whoops. Wait. Load the autosave. And I didn't hit the plus yet, right? Let's plus it up. Nailed it. Boom. Done. Get out of here. We can. I just did it again. Why am I like this? Okay, we're gonna reload again, and we are going to add that as a reload counter. What am I doing? I need to go over here. Yeah, it's tempting to do another dungeon over here, but I don't think I want to. I think I want to... I mean, I can't now because I already got all the experience. But... yeah, I think I'm going to go to 7 next. And I don't know what I'm going to do in 7. We have 170 grand to play with. And I think things are still going fairly smoothly, but we are seeing the limitations in some of what we're doing. Where we are really going to struggle with... do we actually want... No, I don't think that we can turn that quest in. I think that quest will give too much experience. So, yeah, we're just going to have to kill our way through this. Kill our way through this level, as is good and proper. So, let's pull some of you. I think I can safely pull them into town. I don't think... oh, jeez. Well, you know, safe is...
This might be a trap.
we might die here. Fine. Okay. I also need to... I think I have the instructions for how to do that one, right? I need to look at this. I wanna put the... I don't think I have to worry about it that much. I think it should be fine. It was like a really simple process, not a complicated process. I thought it was the complicated process, and then I tried to do it the complicated way twice. And then it turned out to be not possible to do it the complicated way, and I just didn't do it the easy way.
I've never seen one before.
I need healing.
So basically, I just need to... look at the creature farm. Maybe I should do that on stream. There's no reason to do that on stream, because there's nothing to look at, right? It's just going to be me copying and pasting if we do text things. Like, I'm not even going to want to open up the thing. So what's the point? I guess it's not really much different than me just, like, patching the game on the fly. Should I do that now? I might want to do that now. Just for funsies, I'm just going to do it now. Alright, we're going to see if I can remember how to do this. And we're just going to do it. So, we are saving this under test. And I'm going to pop over here. I'm going to go over to data. And is it? I think it's tables, and it's like monster. Is it mon list? Yes, it is. I think it's mon list. So we can't open this up with Notepad. We need Note. We need something that'll retain the WordPad. There we go. All right. So we are going to. Before I do this, we're going to copy, paste that onto our desktop, so that if I fuck this up, it's fine. We can open up WordPad. So what we're looking for is peasant. Oh wait, it might not actually show up here. Because I guess we'll find out. Peasant. Female. Because I actually don't know which one it is now that I think about it. I don't need to change the peasant models or the Ba cultist models for right now. So we'll ignore that. Oh no, wait, this is it. It's the peasant M ones. So peasant M, peasant F that's going to be the right ones. So this column, let's open up this mon list in another thing. We're basically opening 2 copies of this. You can't see any of this, so let's add a source. Window capture, add source, WordPad. Did that work? No. How legible is that? Let's take a look. That's legible. Perfect. So what we're basically working with here is this mon list stuff. So you see peasant M. These things here are the animations that are attached to these. So there's 3 of these. Are there not? Why are there so many? Do I have Might and Magic 6 installed so I can take a look? I'm pretty sure. I don't know that I need to worry about it. We'll find out. But so we can adjust the peasant files if we want to do the full mod setup that we typically do, or we could do it the other way. If I go to my Might and Magic 6 folder, is my Might and Magic 6 version set up correctly? Might be. See. Is it my Steam version? Is that the version that I have set up appropriately? Let's find out. I don't know if this is the one that has the right setup. So we're gonna open up my Magic 6. I'm gonna go back to close this. We can hide this. Why is it not showing my magic? What's happening? Let's see. So we have this under Nightmare. So is this do we have the mod installed? Yes, we do. We did mod that. Wow, what is happening here? This looks so weird. Is this what this usually looks like? This is incredibly alien looking. Okay, so yes, we did in fact set up my files correctly in Might and Magic 6 in my Steam, which means this is great. I don't have to dig around the files doing that much craziness because I can just go over, instead of copying from a second copy of this file, I can actually just go over to my Might and Magic 6, and the monster list there will be a shorter list that I can take it from. So where is Steam? So we're going to grab Steam, go to our Steam apps, common, just give my entire, file architecture. That's fine. In this case it is, because this is all generic. Okay, then I go to data, and I don't need to look at sprites. We just go to the mon list, We don't open it up in that. We open it up with WordPad. And then we go to PMN1. And is this the things we're looking for? Okay. Where did I see PMN1? So, is this... The formatting on this is not great. Why is this showing up all the way over here? So, we have... Unfortunately, it looks like this is a... Oh, the formatting on this is a little bit different between 8, what I assume is 8's formatting, but it might not be 8's formatting. It might be something else. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with Peasant F1A, and we're going to see if we can just... Peasant F1A. Copy this. Okay. And then F1B. Then F1C. And none of this should make a mechanical difference. To the actual, like, the actual abilities or difficulty of the game, because this is just animations, and each animation is going for the amount of time an animation lasts is not defined by these values. So these values should, in theory, not cause any problems. However, I haven't done this with F2B. Okay, we actually wait. These values are the same, so we didn't change F2B question mark. F2B didn't get changed. F2C. F2C is... Okay, so we don't need to change those. So F1A is changed, B is not, and we just basically need to look. So A, B, and C for Peasant F1. Peasant F2 doesn't need changing because Peasant F2 is probably the model for the merchants. So that isn't used, maybe. So Peasant F3B is PFB. F2, what is this? F3. So F3A is MF. Okay, so this does need to be changed. Allegedly. So F3A. Let's scroll down. I don't know why I didn't do the F ones, but that's fine. Okay. F3. Yeah. Okay. So this. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. This is correct. So the MF model is the Anti model, and this is the Angmo model. Yes, so that's basically we're swapping the values here between these. So peasant F3C. Okay. So does peasant F4 need to be updated? I think it does, right? Yes. So peasant F4, A, B, and C need to be updated. This would be a lot faster because I could just copy these entire fields over, but there is a bit of a formatting difference between 8 and 6. So in the future, if these files get updated, if I save an extra copy of this file, I can do this much faster. For B, because basically I'll just be able to copy the entire peasant column from the one that I have right now. The one that I'm making right now, and then I can just paste it over because the formatting between whatever updates happen if they add creatures to the game will not require that I do the thing. So yeah, this is a fairly simple process. It's fairly simple, and when B, it's fairly simple to make these changes. If I was, it might actually be weirdly, it might be a little faster. No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't be any faster to do it the other way. It would be a little bit slower. So it's probably fine. So C. The M2A. Does M2 need to be changed? No. M2 is the merchant, I believe. Though I don't actually know. So M3. So M3A is this. So we're skipping from this to M3A. Because basically all we're doing here is reversing the pointers between the assassin model and the female peasant model and the Bach cultist model and the male peasant model, and then we're ignoring the merchant model because there's no need to change the merchant model. It's not used in game, so using that model elsewhere doesn't cause anything confusing. And we're ignoring that one completely. And but then copying the field for that one and pasting it over to the cannibal model, which I think actually works really well because it actually does give like Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes. M4B is what we're working with. the extremely exciting gameplay for C. So this should, in theory, work. Go ahead and save this. Doing this in a text-only format, which is fine. We don't need formatting. Hopefully that worked. And we should be able to now just open up the game, and the creature files will, or not the creature files, the critters will all look different. Because basically the animation pointers are all going to be pointing to the other things that I just changed them to. So luckily this game worked. I don't know why the other one wasn't. So we should, in theory, there we go. So we've got the model swap working on the peasants, and we've got the cannibal model swap. So that worked perfectly. Let's go. So since we have that working perfectly, let's go ahead before we do any patching, because we're going to be doing patching tomorrow. We're going to go ahead and save our monster list. We can't necessarily, and by can't necessarily I mean we will not be able to just copy it over. Like, we won't be able to just replace the file. Okay, new folder, mon list update. Paste that there. So this is the updated monster list. And so now we have the ability to basically just go in, copy paste the peasant section, and it'll be very, very fast because we don't have to copy paste each section without interrupting the formatting of the rest of the sections. Good times are had by all. Okay, so we're all set. See, it turns out that, modding games isn't really that hard, as long as you don't want to do anything too interesting. If all you're looking to do is, change up a couple of, files, all you're looking to do is be like, hey, what if this thing looked like this other thing, and vice versa? If you don't need to, make any models, you don't need to, edit any models, it all gets real easy. You just, obviously depends on the game. This is mostly true for older games where everything's just saved as a text file. It's like, okay, we'll just swap these pointers, and we're all good. Okay. And this is going pretty smoothly, actually. I do have to remember that we're getting pretty close, so I do have to check after every couple of pulls. Let's see, how many more assassins do we have left that we're gonna have to kill? Actually, no. Because they're not heavily used in the game, right? It's not a common model. Holy shit, is that a Swift? Nope, it's just a normal headhunter. I'm just not used to. I guess I'm not used to seeing these models moving that fast because I'm not on Merge Mod. You have the movement bolster that they have. Uh-oh. Is that poison? That's weak curse.
I've never seen one before.
Alright. So, how are we doing? We're not quite there yet. Which is good, because I prefer to get the exact correct number of enemies done. We are going to get the thing up, right? Yeah, we're one level higher here, so it should tick up soon. There's only 3 here. There's 5. So from here, we can clear out some of this stuff. Pick up some bones, as is good and proper. Just hand those over to our archaeologist friend when we really want to cripple our reputation. Assuming that it does cripple my reputation, which I do not remember. You know, I keep looting these cook pots in cannibal camps, and I forget that maybe I don't want to do that. Actually, maybe that's not a good idea to loot the you know, the cook pot for food. Actually, you know, there might be a slight prion issue. We might have a slight prion issue if we eat any of that, but that's you know, it's fine. What are a few prions between friends? Oh shit! Is that okay? It's not the boss. We're fine. Okay, we haven't leveled up yet. Still haven't leveled up. Not quite there. We're getting there. Not quite there. And I'd forgotten that Tilda opens up. I said, ooh, concerning. Alright, so we're gonna take out this boss. This might be enough on its own. I think we're fine. So this is a ranged attacker, so it can't hit us through the wall. And we should be good to go. It's a little spooky by virtue of the fact that I'm like taking my hands off the wheel. And that wasn't enough. It's not quite enough. So let's grab the item. It's a hat. Suboptimal, but that's okay. At some point, hats might be getting a improvement to them. I should probably actually hold on to hats because the development team has said that they're intending to eventually do something similar to what they did in the 6th version of the mod. That will make it so that hats serve a different purpose than the helmets do. Right? So, if that ends up being the case, we're getting there, but we're not quite there. But yeah, we've been doing really, really tight bolstering this run, so I am curious to see like just how much experience we're gonna get. The funny thing is, again, you can't like directly compare this run to the previous run because there's just way more enemies in play, and we have different pathing. So it's like there's multiple ways by which the runs are not like comparable to each other. So we still can't really compare max bolster versus min bolster, which I think is kind of funny. We can't even compare max bolster done correctly versus the pseudo max bolster that I was doing before, and I say done correctly, done more correctly than before. I don't know for certain that this is going to be the actual strategy that gets settled on. It may or may not. You know, we'll find out. After every kill, I am going to check, because these don't appear to be hostile to the townsfolk, which means that I don't have to worry about, like, I could just leave, right? I can just walk away if they, Bolster level in Might Magic 7 is 25. We can leave right now. We're just going to walk straight to the south. And we can go back to Might Magic 7, which is going to be great. So, let's see. What do we do now? We go over here. We finished Goblin Watch, right? Do we try to do a mini dungeon in 7? I think maybe we do. We could probably do... that place. My brain's failing me. Can I get all my skills up to expert now? I might be able to just do that. We have Arms Master at expert. If we need 20 skill to get anything to mastery, we're going to have stockpiled a lot of money. So I think I can probably get all of my expertises now, including things like leather. So we should probably get leather up to expert right now, if possible. Let's train here and see what we have to play with. Because we are running into throughput issues that are preventing us from doing some of the stuff that we want to do. And this is actually very funny because I forgot that I don't know if this is this is probably a merge mod change. In merge mod, they added the merchant model as one of the random models that shows up in the towns. So now we have the merchants in and out of the town. So, you know, in the town they're fine, and then as soon as they get outside, they start murdering everybody. Let's see here.
Hey, looking to trade?
Okay,
well
come on,
done.
let's go.
Well done. Well done. Well done.
So, staff expert, bodybuilding, regen. Do you have anything you need to invest into? Like, really, no, right? So, I can basically get myself... What does mastery give me? It gives me stun. It also gives me resistance for the entire party. I feel like getting staff to master might be a priority. Getting regen up is useful. I think I might just get everything equalized. Do I want to equalize leather? I think I do, because I'm going to get expert leather now. So let's get all of these started up. It is tempting to get myself the staff stuff first. The issue is that it's going to cost so many points to get staff all the way to 20. Though each point that I'm doing here, even right now before we get to mastery, is already giving us 2 resistance for the entire party. And maybe that's actually worth more than... You know what, let's do it. We're gonna get the staff up to 20 first, and then we'll start normalizing the other stuff, I think. I'm probably going to change my mind. I reserve the right to. That is how things tend to go. Because we're now starting to get quite a lot of money, I'm not going to pump Vampire ability because I'm not going to Shadow Spire anytime soon, so I can't get Expert Vampire. I think what I'm going to do is just get Spirit and Mind both up to 8 so that we can get expertise in those skills. We have Leather, which we need to get up to 8 as well, and we have exactly enough to do that. It was written in the stars that this must happen. We can't do anything with fire, air, water, or earth magic right now. Arms Master is currently where it needs to be. Leather is a thing that we should pick up. Yes, we can get Leather to the point where we get Expert, I think. I think that makes sense. Disarm, Trap, and Merchant are both at the point where they can get up to Mastery. Do we need anything else? We have Monoshield enabled because we're never going to be casting anything with this character. We don't need Enlightenment because getting Expert Enlightenment isn't going to give us a mana pool. So you have all of these in the correct position. We'll eventually get the ability to use regen. Let's get Plate to 8. That gives us the ability to have the recovery penalty. It'll also enable scaling for resistances, because currently resistance scaling is not enabled. So that is a significant difference. And we can, I think... Let's see. When are we going to get the Death Knight promoted? The first promotion will be fairly quick here, but that promotion doesn't do anything for a Death Knight. And the second promotion is going to take a long time. For Might and Magic 8, we're not doing that promotion anytime soon. For Might and Magic 7, the second Might Knight promotion is not going to take... So we're not going to get any promotions done for a Death Knight for a while, I think. Because they are only going to get promoted when they finish a promotion chain, not when they get the first bit of it done. So I'm going to get regen up to 8. I might just leave it at 8, honestly. Okay, you can get body magic to 8 very cheaply. And we can pump sword if we want. We can pump arms if we want. We can get identify monster up to 10 to just have it done. And we need to get chain up to 8 as well. Let's get chain to 8 if we can. Yes, we can. And there we go. So now we have the ability to get any expertises that are critically important for the party. I think I am going to try to get my expert in some of my armor skills. I can't afford to do all of them. So what are the most important expert skills for me right now? I think... Let's get Expert Leather on Shadow Barricos, because Shadow Barricos is... It'll increase Shadow Barricos' DPS to do so, and it increases their durability, and they're the least durable character and the highest DPS. So having that proportional boost to DPS gives me a huge boost, and it gives me a huge boost to have the least durable character. So it's like, it's scaling the best way in both directions. Because of the way that, like, those things work. You need to get expertise in more stuff, because you don't have expert anything, basically. Let's get you expert plate, because that's going to be super cheap to do, and it's a big upgrade. You learning expert chain is very expensive. So... I feel like maybe I'm going to get the expert skills done for everybody else before I even bother continuing to do experts
for you. It might be useful to get expert water, expert earth. I don't know. It's going to take a long time before we start actually doing any promotions. So, I don't know why it was floating around like that. I think I maybe want to get expert leather on you as well. This is not as cheap as it is for the others. You can get expert leather as well, potentially. I have enough. We're getting expert leather on most people. And it's actually really useful to get expert leather on this character because we have so much AC from items that we'll get a lot of a boost from that. So, like, we have some very nice stuff coming in with that. Didn't really increase my vitality by that much. Didn't increase my DPS by that much. But oh wait, she isn't my highest DPS target. My highest DPS target is still my monk
We don't
because of that Inferno staff.
Who needs it?
This is might and endurance. Is this better than yours? It's better in both counts.
No room.
Is this better than yours? Yes. Mind and mind. So yeah, it's just an upgrade. In basically it's like the same stats, just more of them. Perfect. I have a bunch of crafting materials. If I start really struggling to progress, then we might end up needing to use some crafting materials to get some stuff done. But I think that we're fine for now. We're going to pop over to New Sorpigal, and then we will pop over to Antagaric from here. And wondering if I'm wondering if it makes sense. We need 4 daggers, and they're not good enough items to want to copy them. I'm actually wondering if we want to invest into a dagger that isn't a legendary. Because like finding 4 legendary daggers is going to take a real long time. And by the time we found 4 legendary daggers, like, I don't know that we ever will. Like, we might not find 4 legendary daggers. And copying onto a dagger is very likely not, like, my
Traveling
optimal
today?
usage. Ooh, we have the arena available here. I guess we should do the arena. Let's try it. Let's see if we can do a night level arena.
Traveling
I don't
to
think we
coach means right
can.
away.
We're still very limited in terms of our...
I don't know.
It's a fucking crystal century? Okay. We are almost certainly negative 1100. I don't think we're doing night level
Traveling
arena.
to the coach
I don't think the night level arena is gonna go for us. I feel like that's probably a no-go. So we can try the second tier arena, which is this is a level 50, and we just got hit with a fire. Oh god, we got hit by a dragon breath with the Queen of the Dead. Wait, do we count this? Do we count these as reloads? I guess we do. Let's count these as reloads. It's fine. Let's see. Oh, actually, wait. What am I doing? I'll just go to Jadaim, and we'll do the next Endless Arena. Why am I doing these arenas? I could just go to Jadaim. So we're gonna head over to Jadaim. We're gonna start the next Endless Arena and see if we can handle it. I don't know if we can or not. Presumably, it's gonna be harder than the previous one was. This is Enroth. I don't know why I keep going to Enroth. And yeah, it should go pretty well. Should go pretty well. And take a look here.
Need a coach ready to go.
Pop in.
What lies ahead?
Endless Arena level 2.
like this one's alright.
So let's find out what level the things are that we're going to be fighting. They are level 22. So we're fighting level 22 rats to start with. My guess is this is going to be very easy. And it might be easy all the way through, and it might not be. Because it's possible that as we get further into this, the level doubles again and we start dealing with level 40 enemies. So we'll see. Because the previous time, the first one is 2 groups of level 10s, and then a group of level 20s, right? But these are the same level as the end group for the last one. So we'll see if we have another spike, or if we have a while before we end up in real danger again. We should be in a good position to clear out a couple of these. If the level remains under level 30 for a bit, we should, I think, be able to handle quite a few of these. We've got a pretty decent base of power now, and it's not optimal to have the ability to two-shot me, but it's just, if the boss can just two-shot me, then we're probably fine. Because... fucked up. That's not why it's okay, it's not okay because I fucked up. Okay. Small shield, not useful to us right now. Okay, we've got peasants attacking us. Not all of them will attack us, I think. These are level 30, so if the second group is level 30, it's going to escalate a bit. These are the second tier. The first tier doesn't attack. They're not, like, set to be hostile. So, you don't have to worry about it too much.
Well, we got that one.
I think we're fine.
I need healing.
Concerning. So regen's down, which is unfortunate. Is that the boss? It's presumably the boss? Yes. Okay, what is this? Regenerating, okay. We don't want to just try to brute force this, we do want to lure this so that we can do this. Okay. So, regenerating peasant is handled. We're not going to loot it immediately, because we're going to chase these down first. We don't want the others spawning while we're over here dealing with these. That being said, these are going to take so long to chase down that the next group is going to spawn. Oh, right, assassins are going to be in this path. Oh, this is dangerous. Alright, we're going to ignore them because they're no longer relevant. They're not going to attack me, so... Any assassins in play? No assassins in play. Okay, we should be fine here, I think. The big concern is you. Hello. Because the assassins can cause instant death. And if the assassin instantly kills me, then I'm in trouble. So goal right now is just to clear out the one that's up here. And then preferably not have to deal with any assassins reaching me. That's near enough, we'll be fine. Luckily these are still really low. Ooh, shit. Okay, did we get you? I don't think we got you. We did not get you. Shit. Okay, we're gonna need to use a jump probably. Okay, we got something down. Got a cut purse, got the assassin. I think we're okay. I think the boss is on my right. If we can clear The assassin's out. We don't have to be concerned about too much. Oh, this is the last set.
No.
Right, the first set was rats. I thought that we had a third set that was going to come after these. I completely forgot about the rats. Okay. Oh, hello. So, no, that was not the boss. I just never saw the boss. Alright. So that boss gave us a belt. And now we just have this first set here that is running away for some reason. Let's see. This honestly might be intentional. I don't actually know. I think I mentioned it while Malekith was in here at some point, and I don't know that they care. But I don't know that I actually filed a bug report on that. I guess I'll throw a bug report up for that. Let's see. I think we're in Endless Arena. We're in the second one, right? I think we are. Okay. So, done that.
Who wants some?
Let's see. Cleared. It's not like a huge deal. It's a bit of a gimme, which for such a low level, like such an early portion of the arena, is not a huge issue.
Nice shot.
But I doubt it's intentional. It's probably just because that's like the default behavior of the creature type, and it just didn't get changed. Okay, so we got 40 grand, which is actually a huge amount for our current needs. Actually, that's a big deal. So let's see. We got a shield. We got another shield, and we got a belt. So the belt, probably not super useful, though I am realizing that we really have... We had someone who didn't have a belt fairly recently, so there's the possibility that we really need it. So let's see. Do I want to invest into a dagger? Or do I want... to hold off? Let's see. So we have... I think... we have about an hour left. Let's go to Antagaric. We can pop into Arathia. We can cure our disease while we're there. And if we have some really tiny dungeons we can clear there. We also have some quests here, actually. Did we turn in both of these quests already? Ring. We do have the Darren's brother quest. Do we try? I think we're going to try to do that dungeon. I'm going to hold off on using these quests if I can get a dungeon cleared instead. Because I do think that that's going to be a better usage of my time. I think that'll be more fun. I guess we should probably call you a traitor.
I don't know.
We clear you out. Good. Still. one. This one. Which direction is Arathia from here? It's west, I guess? Yes, it's west, because... okay. South is Barrow Downs, is it? No. East is Barrow Downs. Is it? Is it east and north that's Tularia? It might be Tularia's east and north. Yeah. Arathia. And we can pop into this dungeon here, because this is a very tiny dungeon. Oh wait, we can't pop into the dungeon because we haven't cleared enough of the map to go into the dungeon. Not because I wouldn't go into the dungeon first, but because there's enemies too close to the dungeon. So we'll clear a couple of these out. Let's see how high you are. You're level 50 and deal 1,500 damage? Maybe I should pull back a bit. Maybe we should reconsider our pathing strategy here. So is that against this actual target? No, you're only hitting for about my max HP. So you have the ability to instantaneously kill one of my tankiest party members. That's cool. You can't actually instigate her, but you could if she was injured. So she wouldn't have to be very injured for her to be instigatable, because she only needs to go to negative 100. 124 or something like that, I think. Her values probably have changed by now. Is it 124 still? Oh wow, it's 162? Holy shit. Okay. So yeah, if she takes basically 160 damage in advance, which is a fraction of her HP pool, she'll be able to instantaneously kill those bandits. So, is that a trident? Interesting.
This item's weak.
Swift infantry trident. Okay, we don't have to worry about spears for quite a while. Spears are just not going to be relevant as a resource to us until we get GM, and GM is a ways away. If we need 20 skill for mastery, like, I don't know what we need for GM, but it's going to be quite a bit. We should be able to pull a decent number of these. If we have the ability to like lock them into that room, we should be able to do this and make it work. It's kind of cool. We've been able to get a much more normal pathing going here than I expected. The dungeons haven't been a problem in terms of EXP, really. We were able to get the 65% of the Abandoned Temple, and then like get the rest of the level. And then once we got the rest of the level, come back to finish it later. Like, we were able to do that. And that is a very high experience dungeon.
I need healing.
Admittedly, less so now, because we are still, like, substantially higher than those now. But we're not, like, crazy high level compared to the enemies in here, right? Like, we're not, like, completely out of control. So we are probably still getting decent DXP off of them. So my guess is that we will be able to make this stuff work. I think what I'm going to do here... Whoa! Because I just realized that we haven't cleared this place at all yet. Rather than try to do a dungeon, I think we're going to try to just clear this exterior. I don't know if we can clear this exterior without running into a problem.
Who wants some?
We might need to leave earlier than that, because I think this place is high enough level that we're going to get like a lot of EXP. The enemies are a bit higher than us. So since the enemies are a bit higher level than us, I think that it'll be I think it'll be a good idea to do I want to try this? If there's a bandit. I could just try to do a melee kite for these. I don't think I want to try to do a melee kite with a bandit in play, though. I might just die here because I let them get really close to me. And once they get really close, they're going to tend to more aggressive movement that gets them to me faster, but it looks like either because of the terrain or because of their movement speed or because of whatever have you, they fell behind when they attacked and then weren't able to catch back up again by the time we got here. So we should be fine if we can clear out the bandit first. Once the bandit's toast, we have... Oh, I can actually clear my... Oh, shit, I can make myself so much more powerful than I am right now. Oh, this is going to be funny. All right, we're going to check our stats right now. We're going to check them on... let's use Wu Carrot as a baseline, because I keep using Shadow Barracos as a, like, baseline because of the fact that I'm expecting her to have the highest DPS in the party. But she doesn't have the highest DPS in the party yet, right? The highest DPS in the party is still Wu Carrot because of that Inferno staff. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go check the thing. So we have 296 and 1913. So let's look at our... Let's open Notepad. So we have 296 and 1913. I just want to see how big of a difference there is, because we're going to cure our disease, we're going to add heroism, and we're going to add Day of the Gods. And admittedly, Day of the Gods isn't going to be as huge, because we do have the body resistance to give us the might. So we already have might naturally, but... We'll see, but we don't have the luck or the speed or the accuracy, which all contribute to DPS. So we'll tag the heroism pedestal, and we will tag something else. This is an empty barrel. Okay, so this is not usable. The Day of the Gods pedestal. Should I... Do I need to report that? Is that... Let's see. Is it all the pedestals? It's not all the pedestals, right? Just some of the pedestals get converted into empty barrels when you use them the first time. Okay. So... I don't know if this is intentional or not, because it might be that they intended to just be one use. But... The I think it's supposed to be Day of the Gods. I'm almost positive that's the Day of the Gods pedestal. Let's see. And next is... Oh, right, but we also have the ability to get another plus 50 might over here. So let's do that. And we can also get something else. What does this do? One of these gives you, like, intelligence or personality or something. The other gives you something else. Is it just int and personality on the two sides? No. It looks like both sides are the same thing, probably. Okay, so we got plus 50 might. And we can save this. We also need to look at the bounty hunt. Charger? No, that's not going to happen, actually. No. Not today, friend. Not today. Do we want to use our ore, actually? We should probably use our ore. Any in your inventory? No. In your inventory, I know that I have some. So here's 3. We are going to make weapons, I think. Because my weapons are real garbage. That's 2 staves and another stick. see. And how funny would it be if I ended up at some point? I think it's possible to get a legendary off of those. How funny would it be to actually get one though? That's so funny. If this was a dagger, I would definitely do this. I would definitely do this. This is a relatively high level compared to what most of what we've got. Item of the dragon. So, God, it's so funny. We've got the field hammer. Okay. Next on our agenda is what? We've cleared. Oh, right. We wanted to check our stats. So we're now up to 330 and 1969. So that was a little bit over a 10% increase in damage from curing the disease and getting the heroism pedestal tagged. Which is weird because I think it's supposed to. Is it? Maybe it's not. Is it supposed to start at 10 or 20%? 10 or 15%? I guess maybe it starts at 15%. Or sorry, so maybe it starts at 10% and it scales up. I thought it was 15% baseline, but I don't know. So in theory, it should give me 15%. I don't have anything that would have dropped it, but it doesn't matter. I don't know how it's calculated or where in the process. So if there's another modifier that it's stacking with additively rather than multiplicatively, then like it's not gonna show up as a 15%. It's not gonna do as much as you'd think it would because of the additive scaling with something I already have in play. So we are still in the highest place. So we have the ability to go to, yeah, if we get this up to 0.9 or whatever, it'll give us the next one for the third. So we need to get exactly one level. So not exactly. We're going to get a tiny bit more than one level, basically. So okay, that's underneath. I think it's going to rotate in from this way, so we're going to clear this one first because it's not going to rotate into the actual pile. Luckily, it wasn't a really strong one. We actually don't know what's in play in any of these packs until they get here, because we're not seeing them all until later. Okay. Later here, can we get you dealt with? I think we might be able to get another one here. That's concern. That one's going to be hitting us the whole fucking time. But we're clear. So the bandits are very dangerous. They're all dangerous, but the bandits are the ones that I'm most concerned about, which makes sense for the highest level. But generally, the threshold that the bandits have is like just enough to make them like able to like give me, which means that the other ones I'm much less concerned about. Because of the fact that it's like the top tier is just barely making itself capable of like very quickly causing an actual death instead of just unconsciousness. My feeling is that the others are not really capable of doing it at all, right? So I'm massively less concerned about the other enemies than I am about
There's no room left.
about that one. That is a big difference. That's a real big difference. That is a huge difference. Holy shit. Okay, that's 23% vitality. Let's go. Okay, perfect. So, how cool is it that we can use bows as stat sticks now? That's great. It just is. Look at that. I'm not shooting. It's so great. So easy. Okay. Let's see here. It's nice. Look, here's like a fun fact about the world. It's really nice when people just like go a little bit out of their way to do a nice thing for you. It just pays dividends, right? Like it's just like, oh yeah, that was really nice of them, and then you see it again, and you're like, oh wow, remember when that person did that nice thing for me? Super nice. It's just like, oh yeah, hey, I figured out how to disable the thinger. Here, it'll work for your run. Amazing. It's gonna be very funny to see how the Secret Santa stuff goes this year. Like, speaking of just like doing nice things for people kind of out of nowhere, like one of the nice things about Secret Santa is just like the gamification of the whole thing, and the secrecy of it. I think adds a lot. Like, gift giving is a very dull activity for me usually, but but if I just have to get one person a gift, and like and they don't know I'm giving them a gift, it's like, oh wait, this is actually very fun and interesting. I can figure out how to do something fun and cool with this, and so it's very funny. It's also fun to like having like, you know, people like, you know, talking to the group chats in ways that's like, okay, I think I know who, you know, who's trying to get a gift for me. I think the thing that's going to be real funny is if I'm wrong. If my family managed to trick me and like lure me into thinking that a certain person is my Secret Santa when they aren't,
I'm hurt. Nice shot.
that would be pretty amusing.
Oh, yes.
I did end up, me and my wife did end up cheating the process a little bit. Though, unless she was lying to me. She might have been lying to me. That is a thing. That is a component of the play. But she was, we were talking about, like, who we have. And it's funny because I was being really cagey about it at first, like, about what, like, who I had. And because of how cagey I was about it, she actually assumed that I had her, just because it was like, I don't know, like, I guess that's just how she felt. Like, I guess we're not. I was surprised that she thought it was her, because it's like, man, I would have been way more like, I would have been shady in a totally different way if I had you, probably. When we got to the point where we, like, she was like talking about, you know, some of the difficulties she was having, and I was like, you know, oh yeah, you know, I actually got someone that's real easy for me to get a gift for. It's like super easy, barely an inconvenience. And she's like, aha, I know. It's because I wrote such a coherent and concise wish list, which we were just talking about. And I'm like, oh no, I have not read the wish list. If they have one, I know what I'm getting them. Really, real easy. Look, family traditions and all that.
Nice.
there's a bit of a family tradition where we will where we'll basically like buy each other books that we want to read. Because, you know, we'll meet up, you know, the book will get wrapped, it'll come out, and then, you know, people are busy because it's Christmas or whatever, and then so the person who got the book is probably not going to read it immediately because they'll be doing other things. So you can quickly like read the book before you like split off so that you can read so you can get it read, and then it's like, okay, great, now you can take my gift to you. That's kind of a thing that we have as a bit of a tradition. So with the we have like a price limit of $20, which is also convenient because it really like limits the kinds of things you can get. And as a result of that, I'm gonna get the person that I have 2 books, one of which I think is like a really, really good book from an author that I really like that they probably have never read. That I think there's like a reason to believe that they will particularly enjoy it. And the other is is Manufacturing Consent. Because people keep talking about it and I want to read it, and I haven't gotten an excuse to read it yet. And so I think that like it'll be a good gift. I probably will not end up reading their copy of it, but they might enjoy it. I don't know. I don't know. It's also like an old book, right? I don't know, like as like the media environment changes, I don't know like how like a lot of the concepts in it I think are fairly timeless, right? Because it's about like the way that this is my understanding. Again, I haven't read the book yet, but people talk about it all the time. So the concepts in the book have made it into mainstream discourse. So, well, maybe not mainstream discourse, but certainly like, you know, policy wonk, political discourse or whatever, right? So anyway, so some of the stuff in there is going to be interesting regardless. I am curious to see how well it has sort of like aged in the age of social media, but I also don't know how old the book actually is. I'm kind of assuming that the book is pretty old because of how old the author is, right? Like the author now is like an antediluvian creature, right? Like, and it's always like very sad when like people bring them on to like panels and stuff to like say stuff. It's like, man, this person like should really just be retired. Like there's a point where it's like, man, like let him take a nap. Because he's like 90 or something. I don't know how old he is. He certainly looks like he's 150. But at any rate, so I'm hoping that the book is a good one and they enjoy it. But it's been funny because the person that I assume has me was like within like 48 hours of us getting our assignments was like asking me to fill out the wish list thing. And but like me personally, and it was funny because it's like I think the only person who can see people's wish lists is their Secret Santa. I don't think anybody other than the Secret Santa can see it. So the fact that she knew that I hadn't filled it out kind of implies that, oh shit, we got a legendary helm. AC gained from armor is doubled. That's really funny. because the only plate user that I have is a Minotaur and can't use helms. So that's really funny. But this is also an insane physical resistance item. This has 141 armor on it and doubles the AC you get from your actual armor. It's really too bad you can't equip this. Because, goddamn, that's crazy. Okay, so that'll be a cool item.
Leave it behind.
It's unfortunately not a perfect match for my party because, again, because it's a helmet, it's not usable by the person who wears plate. Ooh, though, this might be a really good match because this character has an artifact on, and artifacts scale in AC really well. So I think this is a good play. We're gonna put this on this character, and this character is going to have insane armor class, just absolutely nuts. But that's gonna be a bit. We have 5 levels to go before we can do that. So we have about 80% of a level before we can continue on, and my hope is that we can clear enough to get that done. And yeah, let's just keep clearing for now. And I don't think that we have anything super important to do in terms of itemization. So I think that this is the play. But that's gonna be a really huge item. Like a 70% boost to my vitality is really nuts. And the way that it's boosting my vitality is completely from mitigation. Right? Like, that's entirely mitigation. It doesn't have anything on it that increases my HP. It's resistance and armor class. And a legendary effect that also increases armor class. So, that is going to be fucking nuts. So, the physical mitigation of that character is just going to be out of control for a while. And that's a big deal, because we have a lot of physical damage coming in for quite a while. Like, I think that most of the dungeons that we have in the immediate future are going to be heavy on either poison damage or physical damage. Right? And poison damage is water. Yeah, poison damage should be mostly water. So we have like water damage and and physical damage as the only things that are going to be coming in for a while. And can you? There's only the one. I think I'm just going to clear it. There we go. And then we can save the game. We can move on. That's good. That's exciting. That's really exciting. That's like the first legendary that I've had where I've been like, this is just like really, really going to match really well with my immediate needs. Like, I had the boots. These are very exciting. Like, this is a really exciting item for the later portions of the game. But at the moment that I'm at right now, it's a lot less exciting. It doesn't do a lot for me. Can I just actually jump on top of one of these roofs? Now that I think about it? Can I just do that? Is that what I can do to just... I don't think this is going to work. I think I'm going to... Oh, shit. It's definitely not going to work if I don't get there. Okay. Yeah, they're going to bounce on top of this house. These motherfuckers are going to bounce right up here. Oh, I'm so fucked. Oh, shit! Oh, we missed the jump timing. Missed the jump timing. Ah, it's so sad. It's so sad. Disappointed in myself. We could have had it. We could have had it. We could have had it. There's no... Well, we could have gotten away, maybe. We might have been able to get away. Should I try to just pull this entire pack? Should I just pull a shit ton of them rather than pulling these in small quantities? They don't have a ranged attack for some reason. I guess because this is the second area. So we're just going to pop over here. We're going to grab a monstrous quantity of enemies and just pull them all to our little alcove. As we get closer to level 100, we're going to really, like, start capping out the legendary acquisition rate. Like the legendary acquisition rate, I think technically caps out in the 200s somewhere, but like I think it gets to the bulk of its value pretty early. Like, oh shit, where did you go? That's interesting. I did not see it come in. It must have been really close to the wall. I thought it was literally beneath me. I thought it was on the riverbank.
Come on, then.
That's alright. I think we're high enough now that we're not at risk of getting burned down by this in one hit anymore, like to death. But it's still spooky. Okay. It's possible also that it can't kill in one hit on that character, but the key is that like there's low rolls and there's high rolls. You don't just because someone survived and didn't go unconscious on a hit doesn't mean that they can't do over 100% of your max HP. So, though, at that point, getting them to 150% of your max HP is potentially a bit more of a silly expectation. So we got the top tier. I think we are going to get in the corner. I don't want to try to fight multiple raiders at once with a Spiritus at half HP. There we go. Did we leave the boss behind? I think we left the boss behind. Huh. Let's confirm. Yeah, we have plenty of room to play with. I think. Yeah, we have plenty of room to play with. We should be able to get at this like 0.9-ish. So we have a lot of room to play with. We might not be able to finish. We might not be able to do everything here. We might need to turn in a quest actually, because I think maybe we clear this pack, the rest of it, and we actually go turn in a quest. Because I'm a little concerned. Like if we turn in the Archmage quest, I think that might be the play. The reason being that, do I feel like I was at 11% at the start. And I need to get, so we've got about 40% clearance. But the enemies in the latter half of this are potentially going to be worth more experience. Because we have the Griffins, and the Griffins are way higher level than the Bandits. So we'll get a lot of EXP from the final maybe 10% relative to the first 10%, right? So let's take a look here. I think that we started at 0.6-ish, so we've got about half the EXP that we need. So if we've gotten about half of the EXP that we need in total, then I think we can probably make it work. Because we should probably clear the Griffins first. If we clear the Griffins first, then we can get a better idea for it. But I think we'll be fine. Oh, jeez! Right, there's a boss in this pack. I completely forgot. That's a summoner. So this summoner can probably instigate, as in like they can probably take someone from full HP to dead in one hit, because I think they're going to do more than double the damage of the other one, and the other one could do my max HP in one hit. So this summoner bandit cannot be allowed to get an attack off, which is fine and not terribly difficult to make happen, as long as I don't fuck something up in a way that I haven't fucked up yet today. Which is possible, you know? I'm nothing if not inconsistent. That is my general behavior. Ooh, hello, I forgot you existed. Sorry. Hi. Why are you not attacking me? Well, you know, sometimes they get confused. How are we doing? 0.33. So, we got a staff. It's probably not going to be a huge upgrade over what we have.
Ah,
And,
nice.
oh, that might be a pretty big upgrade over what we have, actually. It's an upgrade over what we have, at the very least. So, that's pretty funny. So, we got another cool staff. How are you? This is a 20%. Do you have the staff skill? You have it. This is so funny. This poor ranger. This poor ranger is just like wandering through. Do we have anybody? Choppily has a weapon set that is appropriate. And Woo Carrot has a weapon set that's appropriate. And I don't have either of my dagger users dual wielding daggers yet. They only have daggers in their offhand, and it's very sad. It's very sad. You know, it's fine. It's fine. We will get daggers that are very impressive and cool eventually. Just you wait. I'll show them all. Is this almost I think we can handle this without moving. Get a bit of information about their DPS. There is a chest here that we can loot, and we should loot all of the chests immediately because we don't know
We don't need this. Let's leave it behind.
whether we need it.
We don't need this. Let's leave it behind.
Okay, I'll give this to you, I guess. Let's see. And we have another item on the ground here. That's a dagger. Okay. There's another dagger lying on the ground here, and that's a long dagger. Long daggers are better than the short daggers. Is that another dagger? No, it's two. Sorry. I was so excited. I'm like, wait. Another? Not another. Alright, Grandmaster unarmed, which we cannot use yet. A well that gives 10 accuracy. That's not bad. I'll take it. I guess I won't take it. It's going to stay here, but I'm going to drink from it. Let's see here. Master Spirit, which we can't learn yet. And we're in okay shape. So let's take a look at these daggers that we just picked up, huh?
We don't need this.
We have a poignard that can get a damage effect on it.
Let's leave it behind.
And my life is a bit sad. I don't think 33. Okay, so this is a slight boost over this one. I don't think that's good. Okay. I don't think it's worth it to add that effect onto it. If it was of Infernos, I think it would be. And I said that before as well, and then didn't do it. But I think it would definitely be worth it. We really need to get some decent daggers on our poor rogues, because they are really struggling right now. And we can check, is this a Royal Griffin? Let's go. Level 55, 52 armor class. It only hits for 150% of my max HP. No big deal. We can just walk over to Fort Riverstride and hope that we can lock it in the same way we could the others. If we can't, we're in trouble. There aren't a ton of these in the zone. So my hope is that these will be worth enough experience on their own to give me some pretty major boosts toward where I'm trying to get to. Because if they're not, I might not have enough experience depending on how many bosses are in play. If there's a Royal Griffin boss, I think we're gold. A Royal Griffin boss is probably going to be more than shit. Wait, are you not that high level, actually? Wait, what level are bandits? Because that didn't take as long as I expected it to. Like, that didn't take that long. Huh. I think we can just walk here from this river, so we should be able to just go collect some more of them. 0.36. We're gonna try to grab 2 at a time. We might die right now. We didn't die. Yet. Yet. We didn't die yet, except by the time I got the word "yet" out, we had in fact died. Okay, let's add the thing. So we can be one shot by these, just straight up on Espiritus, which is concerning for obvious reasons. But I think that it shouldn't be that bad, honestly. Like, we could have definitely played that way better. So, like, one thing that we can do, even if we wanted to be a bit more aggressive with our pull, so we're going to try to be aggressive with our pull again, but this time we're going to try to do it a little bit more sanely. So we're going to go up this cliff, and we're going to basically jump down at them. I wonder if there's a chest up here. Probably not, right? Let's save. So we have 15 reloads that we need to repay today. That is a lot of Royal Griffins. That's actually a lot. We have 3 Royals right here. And that's an insta-gib. And yeah, I think that's trouble. I think we're probably going to finish these 3 Griffins. And then once we've finished the 3 Griffins, I wonder if we can actually pull them. Can we use this? Nah. If we pull them to the castle, I don't want to deal with them attacking the guards. Though it could be kind of funny. I don't think they do fight the guards, because they're both, like... Nope. Well, that's concerning. We can hit it from here. So we might be able to just pull them to here, which is not, like, better than the other place that we were pulling them to, but it's not worse either. And it's worse in the sense that I don't know it as well, so I'm not positive I can make it work, and it doesn't have a roof. So, it doesn't have a roof, so there's the concern that they just fly over to me, but it's fine, probably. Unless it's not. Okay, nice. Perfect. So we can pull both of these, and then we can just pull the other one alone to Fort Rivershoek, probably. So let's pop over here. And what are you going to do now? You're going to fly up to me? Because I feel like you might. You can just fly right over that wall. It's not flying over the wall. I didn't notice that was the attack the attack audio. I thought that was the hit audio. So I needed to do a proper dive in and dive out. I'm just a dope. So we made mistakes. It's fine. It's all fine. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna try to jump up the roof because it's fun. I'm gonna fail to jump up on the roof because I'm bad. It's actually because you lose forward momentum when you jump for some reason. Okay. This is very strange timing. I think what's happening is I'm getting in range to hit it before it gets in range to hit me. And so what's happening is I'm basically like going out, hitting it, which triggers the hit stun. And then after I trigger the hit stun, I'm going so far out that I'm getting into range for it to hit. And then when I get into range for it to hit me, the hit stun animation ends, and then it starts attacking. So there's like a delay to when it's starting to do its attack compared to where I would have expected it to be. So it sounds like it's starting to attack while I'm behind cover. I really love the fact that the jump spell gives you Featherfall for free for the jump. It's really fun. It's like, it's a great side effect of the spell. Because why cast Featherfall when you can cast Jump? Why go lower when you can go higher? That's my question for you. I'm not a cat, no. I have no idea where someone would get the idea of me being a cat. Whoop. Okay. So, we're fine here. We are going to just play it safe. I feel like there is probably an angle here where we can just hit it, and it can't hit us. But we're not going to try to find that angle. We're just going to beat it up. And I think we're going to go get... it's 1247. I think... Oh, we got an axe? Is it a good axe?
Who needs it?
It is not. Who needs it? Not us. Okay, so we're going to go clear some more of these. We're going to go clear the ones down in the thing over here. Or should we do the ones that are near the... Should we clear out the brigands that are near the chests so that we can get the chests? No, I'm not going to worry about the chests. It's not a big deal. The chests we'll get when we get the chests. We'll probably be able to grab the chests anyway, because we're going to need to clear most of this zone either way. I just want to make sure that I'm clearing the enemies that are going to give me the most EXP per % clearance. And I think I'm going to get more experience from these than I get from the others, again, relative to the clearance rate. I'm not positive on that. That's not a guarantee, but that's my suspicion. Not positive, but I do suspect. So we have a bunch of griffins here that we are going to have to either lure out or fight. I'm trying to think, is there a place I could bring them that would allow me to do something other than those two options? This is level 40, so the minimum level of these is 40. It's pretty high. I guess this is bottom tier. Not too bad. I think this is going to be fine. So we're going to do... There's the possibility that we can use one of these houses, but I don't remember that any... I think they're all pretty normal-shaped houses. It would work a little bit for things like the bandits, but it's not going to work for flying creatures, right? Like, flying creatures are just going to ignore the... I guess it could work if I, like, really finagled it quite a lot. But yeah, if we do run into any top tiers here, which I don't know how likely that is. There aren't really that many here. If we do run into some top tiers here, then we will probably need to just pull them out. We might be able to just... I think we can probably melee kite the mid tiers. Melee kiting the top tiers is probably... they don't have that much HP. It's probably feasible to melee kite the top tiers, actually. If I don't care about having to reload a few times, it's fine to have to deal with a few more punishments. That's fine. I need to get more exercise anyway, right? So if I have to do some more top tiers, then I can probably handle those with melee if I thinger. I've been getting really like lazy with my melee kiting. Like I have not been melee kiting much this run. Like there's a lot of like either just standing in melee or just fully like getting behind corners and shit, which I really should be doing more of my melee kiting. If I get out of practice, I'm going to get bad at it, and I need to be good at it in order to be able to handle some of the stuff that's probably upcoming. There just is a really big... Okay, so like, let's at least try to melee kite this for a bit, because this probably has the ability to do... I got thrown off by the bloodstain. The bloodstain confused me. Ooh! We're fine. It hasn't hit the person that it's not allowed to hit yet. And we do need to melee kite these. That lasted a very long time. Like, admittedly, I'm only hitting it twice per interaction. I'm only, like, tagging it twice instead of 5 times per round. So it's obviously going to last a lot longer. But that was a long time. That was a lot. So I fucked up the kite there too. I used to be a bit better at melee kiting. I think I'm fairly confident that I used to be better than I am right now. Not necessarily by a lot. Yeah, this is not the way to approach, but luckily we got it solo. This is the worst place to approach these from because I'm approaching them from a position where all of them are going to be roughly equidistant from this approach vector. What I want is to get on the opposite side of the cup so that I can approach the corner one first to split the other two away. So if the enemies are forming a cup, go on the outside of the cup, not the inside of the cup. The exact shape of the cup doesn't matter. Any cup, you want to be on the exterior. For the math people in the audience, or geometry people anyway, you want the obtuse angle, you don't want the acute angle. If you want to think about it that way. The obtuse angle is the one that'll get you there. So we're going to clear out all of these, and then we'll see from there. I'm not getting a ton of EXP for these, honestly. We do have one royal there. Fitting that it's in the exact last location that we need to go here. I wonder if there's any more. If there's only the one, it'll be really quite iconic that it's sitting there. And I am in range of this. I don't know what it is. It's on the top of the mountain. We need to move quite a bit distance. It looks like it's at the bottom tier. We're fine. This has been pretty low level. The ones here probably aren't, like the normal griffins probably aren't meaningfully higher than the other folks. So it's like level 40. I think 55 was the top tier griffins. It's a pretty big difference between the bottom and the top tiers. So trading. On the plus side, we've got quite a bit of ore, which is nice. So I'm going to back up a couple steps. We're going to walk this way. We have a bottom tier and a top tier here. So we have more than that. We have a bottom tier, we have a top tier, and an unknown. So we'll see if I can get just one to come at a time. We've got the royal, and we want it to get close to me in the z-axis before we have to start kiting it. This is an okay position to start kiting from if I don't fuck up the immediate turn. Fuck, I missed the attack. Yeah, I attacked too early. I'm probably going to get wiped here. Oh god, why do I suck at this game? Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, I'm getting so bad at melee kiting. Holy shit. The timing aspect was mostly okay there, but I was really, really doing bad there. I kept running into walls, and I know where the walls are. Like, that was bad. I was not paying close enough attention to my environment and just doing a real bad job. That was bad. I don't think there was any bad luck in that at all. Because you can always have your characters miss, right? But the one time that I missed wasn't because I missed, like, a character missed the attack. It was because I missed the attack time. I attacked before the enemy was quite in melee range, I think. So I think I missed there. I'm pretty sure I got the timing wrong. So, that's pretty rough. You hate to see a situation where, like, you get real good luck, because, I mean, not real good necessarily. Like, attacking a character that isn't a Spiritus twice in a row isn't exactly insanely good luck, right? That's just fine luck. But, like, you get the luck that you need, right? Like, that should be plenty of luck to get the job done, and it's just not because you're just playing bad. Because sometimes you're going to get hit periodically when you do things mostly correct, right? The amount of bad luck that you can have is variable according to how difficult the situation is and how well you're playing, right? That's a fuck up. And we do have the ability to lose on a single fuck up here. Right? A single fuck up can kill us. We could have wiped there. Because if it hits a Spiritus, we just die. So that time we did good enough for the RNG that we got, but we could have done better. We did not do that perfectly. But we did it pretty good. I don't hate that attempt. That was actually pretty decent. That was a pretty decent attempt. Okay, actually, you know what? I'm going to say, going from pretty decent to actually pretty decent good attempt, because of the fact
This is nice.
that it involved... Ooh, that's a relic dagger. I guess we'll see if it does any extra damage. I don't remember
We don't need this.
I don't remember what all the daggers look
There's
like.
no room.
My pack's full. I can't carry anymore.
Because of the fact that there were two of them there, I'm actually willing to be slightly
We don't
more
need this. Let's leave it behind.
kind to myself and say, actually, you know what? Good job. Good job. You did good. Good job, kid. You did it. Okay. So, we have cleared, I think, all of the griffins that we're going to clear from the zone. They're all set. So we've gotten the obelisk, and now we need to just walk over here, grab these items, and we need to get a identify item onto the person. Get an identify item on somebody. I actually don't know which type of ore is the top tier of ore. I don't know anything about their, like, structure. The one that looks kind of like maybe moss, where it's just like this grayish green kind of thing, that one I think is the lowest tier. This is you'd think this would be the second lowest tier based off of its positioning, but it's pink and black. It's got to be really good, right? It's got pink on it. Like, pink is the best color, so it's got to be good.
No room.
My
No
pack's
room.
full.
Sorry.
There's no
I have
room.
too much.
My pack's full.
Okay, get that in place. Let's identify this. Identify this. Nothing
This
of
might be
particular interest.
It's probably okay.
Double 40 endurance on
I
a
have
stat
too much.
stick is pretty good. Do we
There's
want
no
to
room.
give that to you? Actually? Yeah, we're gonna give this to you.
Sorry.
I think that's the play. We want to get her more
I don't
durable.
know this.
We need to find... Ooh, we have an Arms Master Spear. I don't
Let's
hate
leave it
it.
behind.
don't hate it. Spear is a one-hander. Oh, right. So who needs the vitality boost from this? We'll give it to you. Excuse me. We're not going to be fighting, griffins forever. So right now it will be. Everybody already has an air resistance, so we can just toss that. We can sell that.
We don't need it.
Don't need that. We do need this. How are we doing on level? We are getting there. We need another 0.4. And we're at what? We're at about... We're a little over halfway through because we started at 11%, right? So we're about halfway through. We need somewhere around what is it, 44.5% above that. So 44.5% above that would be the halfway point. So the halfway point is 44.5%. So we don't need to worry about the halfway point. Actually, we just need to worry about the 37. So there's about 20% of it. Yeah, it's about 20%, I think. So we should be within 20% of the halfway point. And I think that we are well past the halfway point. Here, we need 0.4 we left. And we've gotten 0.6. It's going to get it's actually close. We might end up needing to do some shenanigans to make this work. We'll see. There wasn't any bosses in those packs, so the bosses are probably going to be worth a lot more EXP relative to the clearance, but I don't actually know that that's true.
I can't identify.
Relic Dagger. We need to do what? We need an identify item equipped. Do we already have one? I thought we had a ring that gave identify that I had equipped permanently, but apparently not. So let's track down, because we also have we have some more warrior. It's possible that dagger is going to be a big upgrade. The funny thing is that it's possible that relic dagger is going to be so bad that it's not even worth equipping over the maces. Which that's the issue with the relics, is that they are a very mixed bag. This, I think, is a good swap. We just swap this to you. That means that we need to swap off one of your Arms Master items that you have. This is also Sleep Unconsciousness. So let's swap these two. And that will give you... Two of you are now in a similar position in terms of your stuff, I think. So I think we're fine there. Next, we have this. We have... what else? 100 grand. I forgot what I was doing. We were gonna do something. Something. Dagger. Yes, we need an item that gives us something dagger. But I didn't. What do I need to do with a dagger? It's I don't actually need to do something with a dagger. I need to do something with a ring that lets me equip a dagger. Where are the items that give me my identify? I had so many of them just sitting around for so long. I'm finding they keep dropping like rain, and I'm just not able to find any of them because I keep tossing them like rain. Because that's what you do with rain, you toss it. Okay.
Who needs it?
That's how that goes. We also have this, which is... We do have... some stuff available to us. Is this going to be useful for my offhand? It is useful for the offhand. So if I ever get my axe skill up to master finally, which I think I can already do, right? We might want to just get master for this because that would allow me to use an offhand axe. I don't really want to invest into upgrading this because it's really this is not what I would want to do for like a long-term axe, and it's going to take a lot of investment to make it any good. So it's a legendary, and it's great that it's a legendary or whatever, but like it's also suboptimally itemized in the first place, and the effect that it has isn't the long-term effect that I would want for a two-handed axe, and I don't have a bunch of two-handed axe slots anymore. Did I? Seriously? Oh, I only have 7 identify skill? Should I just level up? Oh, that explains so much. Okay, so I only have 7 identify skill. Yeah, okay, which makes sense because I can just equip an item to boost it the rest of the way. Do I have these on somebody else? Maybe. Like, how have I? Oh shit! It's 107 already. Jeez. Okay. I don't want to end without doing this. That would feel mean. To like end before we find out what this dagger is, considering I've been complaining about not having a dagger for so long. And then I get a dagger, and then I don't even identify it before we end stream. It would be kind of funny to do that. It'd be even funnier if it was a Friday, right? That would be real funny. Chat might disagree, but don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. There we go. We got one. We got there.
This is nice.
Blade of Mercy. It's necromancer only, so it gives a huge amount of might. Unless
It's of no use to
yeah,
me.
that's of no use to me. That is so funny. We got a dagger that's actually pretty good. It's got good stats. It's got might. It's got accuracy. It's got a garbage electrical damage boost. And I can't use it. And that's really funny, and I enjoy that. So I think we're going to end things there on that note, because that's really funny. So next time we will do some inventory management. We'll finish up the exterior of Arathia to some degree. We're not going to get it to 100% because we don't want that giant boost of EXP. So we might have to like dip in to grab some EXP somewhere else for a little bit. We might like just go to Tularia or something just to kill a couple of trees. Just to make sure that we're like getting the full value out of things. But that's going to be it for today. So thank you for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure to stream for you today. I have 36. So I'm going to actually immediately after we end stream. Actually, since I'm doing it immediately after I end stream, maybe I don't end stream. I'll do the push-ups now. And then I'll do planks because I've been bad and I haven't been doing them. So I'll do the push-ups now and then we'll do the planks later. So you can't see it anyway. I'm not turning my camera around into my living room. So I guess I could point it at the floor here, but I don't really want to point it at the floor either because I've got paperwork on my desk. So I'm going to do my punishments. So we're going to end stream. I'll do my punishments. And I will say in the Discord when I do the punishments, or I'll forget to do that, but I probably will. And then I'll see y'all tomorrow, ? Yeah, it's Wednesday. Later, folks.